This episode is brought to you by Chocolate's Call Out Challenge. Today's victim, Free Radical. I've had it with you and your questions. Tonight, I will call you out and destroy everything that you are about. But now, let's get to the show. 'Cause it's episode 53, 1 year and counting.
Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 53 of Cross Atlantic Gaming. 53, we've made it a year-ish or something. We've had some decimal points in some of our titles. We've had all that good stuff. But joining me today are my hosts, co-hosts, good lord, Chocolate.
How you doing, guys?
Moose.
Good to be here, guys.
And in our rotating fourth chair, community member, Chaotic.
How's it going, guys?
Not bad, Chaotic. How you been?
Not too bad, folks.
And if I butchered the intro there, is because I just came off of listening to that call out, and it really just, for whatever reason, threw everything off.
Nothing to do with the technical difficulties.
Nothing at all.
So our very first episode of Cross Atlantic Gaming dropped on approximately May 30-ish, something, kind of, according to Moose. So we took it and ran with it. He could have been lying and gave us a wrong year or date anyways, and this could not be true, but hopefully he was telling the truth and we can talk about some games. But before we get into all that, we do have a couple things to give away quick here. And Chocolate, if you want to take that away.
I'm going to give away my soul first. No.
Perfect.
It's long gone. Who you kidding?
The first code we are giving away, bear in mind we're live on Mixer, so some of these codes may have disappeared if you're hearing this in the audio format, is HCJM2 MT6PC DMJJH GPT9793C9Z. My God, that was a long one.
I was just going to say, that felt like that was about 60 characters long, so hopefully if anybody in live chat or now got that, they can let us know.
Yeah, you haven't put two together there, have you, Chocolate?
No, 100%
No, you sure?
I haven't.
You just accidentally gave somebody all of our codes for the episode.
Yeah, and we are empty.
And we done.
Oh, good stuff. Are you doing a second code? How are we doing the Discord one?
We are, if you're in our Discord, you are going to get one now. Give me 2 seconds. I'm dropping it. Keep on going with the show. I'm going to mute myself.
Yep. So Chocolate's going to drop that in Discord. So if you're over there, which really we're just kind of sending everybody that's in live chat over to Discord to redeem another code. So we might have thought about this once or twice. Clearly not. Okay. Well, another week in gaming. What have we all been playing? Let's start with guests first. It looks like you're playing a lot of Tom Clancy, Chaotic. You want to talk about Wildlands or Division?
I'll start off with Wildlands, shake it up a little bit instead of the normal.
All right.
Jumping, obviously, with the new one being announced, thought never actually complete the Wildlands being the massive game that it is, so thought I'd jump back in and do some Wildlands with one of the quieter members of the community. Jumping back into that game, it blows me away how amazing they've managed to get that game looking between the different landscapes. 1 minute you can do the Predator section where you're in the forest, next minute you're in the desert, then in the snow. There's massive big salt pans that you can go sprawling across, being chased by various different enemies. Honestly, it was completely underrated for a game, I think.
Ever since they announced the second one, that's something I need to get back into it. I I feel like I'm like 4 missions short.
I mean, we've tried to be pretty meticulous with it. So I think we've done like every one of the little, because as much as you don't have to complete everybody to get to the main bad guy, I think we've got maybe 2 left, and then we're going to go through with the free DLC that they've introduced. There's like the mission where you work with Sam Fisher, so it's one of the obviously the Splinter Cell missions. And then there's another one that's, I know there was one that they did do that was from Caveira, that was from the Rainbow Six Siege games.
Oh, okay.
So you worked with a couple of operators for the Rainbow Six Siege games, and then they've got another additional mission separate for the main storyline, which is another another Tom Clancy game. And then you've obviously got the Predator side quests and things like that as well.
And then, do you have the brand new stuff that's tying into the new game? The one with John Barenthal?
Is that? I didn't think that was part of this game. I just thought that was them showing you he was going to be in the next one. I wasn't aware if that was anything to do with the current game.
Yeah, Operation Oracle. So it's a...
Oh, is that Oracle? That must be what the other secret mission is then.
Yeah, that's Oracle. And it's cool because apparently you're working with him in this first one, and then if you saw a trailer for the second one, you're fighting against him.
Yeah,
so
with the drones and things like that.
Yeah, with all the drones and stuff. So I think this will put down at least some sort of a foundation and maybe have John Bernthal's character have a little more impact on the story because you've worked alongside him, and now you can figure out why he turned to the dark side, I guess.
Yeah.
I think I've got 2 territories closed out in that game, so sounds like I got a couple backpacks to help me out.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Definitely.
I need to carry.
Honestly, like for the sheer size of the map that they've put in place for that game. I mean, there's some of the missions we are doing. If you're not doing them in any discernible order and just going across the map picking places, some of the actual distances between where you are in the current mission, we were in planes flying 18, 19 kilometers on the scale of the map. It's the amount of effort they put in to try and make Bolivia look as good as they have on that game is just fantastic. So fairly excited to see how they do it with what looks like it's going to be a more jungle type setting in the next one.
Yeah, the next one, it looks pretty diverse, I would say. Seems like you have lots of different biomes. Like there's a volcano at one point, but then there's also sandy beaches and like mountaintops that are covered in snow.
Yeah, because it's a made up island on this one, isn't it? They've not taken a real place. So
yeah, so I mean that gives you so much creative freedom and just the ability to make everything so diverse. So good stuff. I told somebody, I think it might have been Moose or just in our chat, that I was gonna finish up Wildlands this week, and then it didn't happen. So
how'd that go?
I'll say that again. I'm gonna finish up Wildlands this week.
In fairness, Wildlands, like if you just mainline the story, it's not the biggest of games, but I think with games like Wildlands, when you have things like you've got the commendation medals you can collect, the gun cases you can unlock, the missions for the rebels that you work with, the actual size of the game to try and complete it like that is absolutely huge. I'm not saying the quality's there, but it reminds me very much of The Witcher, because they've got that many different types of side quests that to actually get through all of them is a massive slog.
Yeah, the quality of side quests may not be anywhere near it though.
I don't think any game will have the quality of side quests The Witcher.
That's true. I forgot we have
Odyssey
The Witcher 3's biggest fan here.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, did you hear him say that, Chaotic?
Sorry, what was that, miss?
Assassin's Creed Odyssey's got some pretty good side quests.
No, he said Odyssey might be close.
No, it's not. It's just not.
Absolutely not.
As much as
Fair
I would
enough.
probably Odyssey as my game of the year last year, it's not close to The Witcher.
Guess I got to keep playing.
That's fair. Not much is though. Chocolate.
Yes.
Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. That's in Game Pass, right?
It's in Game Pass, yeah. It's
And you've been playing it.
I've been playing the Tomb Raider. The game looks really good. It feels very cutscene-y at times. So it was, I think the first 30, 45 minutes of it was kind of cutscene heavy. Felt a little bit like I think Rise is the only one that I can think of. You know, where you would go into a cutscene, then a quick time event, and those
Run
kind
around
of
the
quick
corner into
time.
another cutscene.
Yeah, it was. It looked good, and you know that you're getting kind of drawn into the story. But the QuickTime button events, it seems like you've got half a second to nail that button. If you don't get it right, that's it. And I was finding it so frustrating that I couldn't get, you know, first time on the nose. I just kept missing it.
The thing I noticed with the Chocolate, I take it you're playing obviously the trilogy that's in Game Pass just now.
Yeah,
The thing I
definitive
noticed-
edition.
The thing I noticed is like most of the time when it was like an action sequence, it was why. So it wasn't like they were waiting to the last second and then telling you what to go for.
No, that's the only good thing about it. So after I
Yeah.
think I died the first few times, I would then start spamming the Y button. I think
Yeah.
it's only Y and X.
Yeah, it's like if you're grabbing onto a ledge, that's when it's X.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just really hard to, that you couldn't get that initial straight away, kind of like in Rise where you had 2 seconds to go, right, okay, that's the
Yeah.
button, perfect.
So are you playing through the one that's to do with the sun goddess, Unicorn?
Unicorn, yeah,
Yeah.
Unicorn or Unicorn, yeah. And I've already got like heavy vibes and suspicions that I can't think of who the guy is, but he's the main lead in the archaeologist kind of taking the party out. I've got this sneaky suspicion that he's a bad guy or he's done something.
Well, which one is it? The one who
Guy with the glasses.
So not the one that Lara seems really close to.
No,
Other
the
guy.
other guy where she was like, no, the island is not to the west, it's to the east, or
Yeah.
vice versa.
Yeah.
It just feels like there's something not quite right with him at the moment.
How far are you into the game? Would you say roughly?
About an hour and a half, I think.
Okay, right. I'm considerably further ahead. Then I won't say anything.
Yeah, so I think I've got past. We found out that we're on the correct island. Couple of people. Spoiler alert. Loads of people
Did you
get
past the plane
murdered.
crash area yet?
Well, yeah, I was going to say there's two. Yeah.
There's the first plane. I've done the first plane where you have to climb on the plane, which looked
No.
like an old World War II fighter.
No, there's
Has,
another
has a plane tried to rescue you yet?
No,
Okay, I won't say anymore.
Yep.
no.
In fairness,
It's
the
like
game's
it's
like
stuck.
what 6-year-old now, 5-year-old.
Yeah, I mean it's a fairly old game,
Yeah.
but it's really good. I like how you can customize and upgrade
Yeah,
her skill tree. That's quite nice.
I was pleasantly surprised when I jumped back in. I've not played a Tomb Raider game since the sort of early PlayStation ones. In fact, no, I think Angel of Darkness was the last the last Tomb Raider game I played. And I was pleasantly surprised at how much it's changed and how good it is with the customization of. You've got like various different skills that you can put points into.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating how slow it feels to try and get your XP, but you can kill the animals in and around, which gives you a boost in your XP. There's lots of little kind of collectibles dotted around each, I don't want to say level, each section as you go past, which gives you another boost. Trying to find some of them though is frustrating as hell. Trying to find those, they're like a skull and it's got bones coming round it, so it's like a I can only say like a skull sun.
You know what the issue is though? Is see how you're saying it's difficult to try and find things like that. As you upgrade your skill tree through the survivor, I think it's one of the survivor ones, you actually get a skill that makes how like some of them shine a little bit when you walk close to them, so you know it's there.
Yeah.
It makes them more obvious, but it's like near the end of the skill tree.
Oh, that's
So it's like that's a bit back to front. Surely, God, you put that near the start. So
Yeah,
that
wait.
people would find it.
what's the you've got that is it LB, which gives you that kind of that special ability to
Eagle vision from Assassin's Creed. almost.
yeah, it just makes everything that's kind of collectible
Detective mode.
In
Detective
no moves,
mode, that's-
just because I said it was a feature from Assassin's Creed game does not make it better than Witcher.
No, I was talking
End
about
of.
Batman there.
But yeah, detective mode is spot on. It gives you that detective mode-esque. And it does get... It is hard to try and find some of them. But, I mean, so far, I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm happy. It's got a good, engaging story in the first, like I said, hour and a half. So, hopefully, there's some twists and turns. So, yeah, we'll wait and see.
And I mean, honestly, I think those games got better and better too. So by the time the third one came around, that's probably my favorite game. And it's like they keep adding things every game as well. So different mechanics and skills, all that kind of stuff. So they never feel like if you're going from one to the other, you're not gonna. I mean, you might get burned out on it because it's the same IP, I guess. But they're definitely adding new stuff. I would definitely stick with it.
How long are they per game?
I'm trying to think how much time I've put into this one.
I'm sure
They're not that long.
Like
If
25
you're-
hours each
No.
or so.
In fairness, I think this one they could have wrapped up a bit quicker because the storyline isn't really going very many places. So I
The
think they
story
could have,
seems very like I said, I've already got an inkling that one of your air quote friends or on the party is a bad guy. So I've got a funny feeling there's not much. It
And
can't arc
in fairness, though,
too
Chocolate,
much.
I think you've missed out one of the characters.
Ooh.
You're focusing on one character where you should be focusing on another character because they've got a bit more of our input in the storyline. But
Okay.
I'll leave it at that.
Just pay attention to them all equally, Chocolate.
See,
Apart from the ones who get murdered.
Well, I also played this on Tuesday, so it's been a. I have forgotten what's happened.
It says if you mainline it, it's only 11 and a half hours long.
That feels right.
I'm just jumping on the Xbox app just to see where time I've put in.
It says
What would-
completionist is a 20 and a half hour game.
Well, I've put
Oh
in.
yeah,
Oh, apparently I've only played 3 hours. Go figure. Okay,
so I can't be that far away.
that makes sense. What I would say about the game is the cuts. Well, they're not so much cutscenes because they're still in game, but see the death scenes that they have in them.
Oh, they're so bad.
Yeah,
oh my
brutal.
god, some of them are so brutal.
It's like Mortal Kombat almost.
Exactly, you're sitting watching them and you're like, oh wow.
Yeah, they don't pull any punches because she's a girl, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Honestly, that's the weirdest part of it. Is just that she's just doing something random and then falls down and like a spike goes through her face,
Yeah.
and you're like, what?
some of the ones I've seen is like, you know how like it's not a quick time event, but when you're in like either snow or water where you have to like flick the right stick or the left stick so that you move out the way of objects.
yeah.
See when you hit like a spike barrier on them, it's like, ooh,
Oh,
yeah, Lara's not walking away from that one.
Not even close.
That's a dull one.
Oh man. All right. Speaking of female protagonists, let's go to Moose. He's been playing some Horizon Zero Dawn.
Before we talk about that, I've got another announcement to make.
what?
We're still gonna leave JDub121483 alive. We're not gonna kill him, but
Oh, boy.
I've officially made a name change. We're Moosenstein 8314 on all platforms now.
Woohoo!
You did it.
I did
You
it.
changed your PlayStation name.
Look at me. And then I loaded up Horizon Zero Dawn, and holy cow, what a game! Go
How
ahead.
far into that are you?
Oh,
Spoiler
man.
free.
Let's see. I want to say about 4 hours into it.
Okay. So
So something big has happened, and now I'm on another quest across the land, basically.
yeah, that first big scene where
Yeah.
everything goes down, I feel like that's not too far off from the beginning of the game, and then you're just kind of on your way.
Right. But I just wanted to ask you, every time I play one of these big epic PlayStation, exclusives, I feel like maybe Xbox could learn something from them a little bit, because they're such great games going from
Their quality, yeah.
Yeah, Spider-Man, God of War, this game that was either in contention for or one game of the year in 2015 or 2016.
It was up there for me. That's
Right.
for sure.
So I'm hoping that with them buying all these new companies that they will start producing some of these titles like this, because this is an epic game. And so far, I'm only 4 hours into it, but I'm loving every minute of it. And actually, my wife is actually into it because she came in about an hour and a half into it, and then she went on YouTube and started just watching all the cutscenes to catch up.
Just the story stuff?
Yeah.
That's funny.
And so and she's like, all the cutscenes alone is just 6 hours in this game. She's like, how long is this game? I was like, it's probably like 50 or 60 hour game. And I think that's what it ends up being. And then I still have all the DLC to play after that.
Wow.
I never got around to the DLC. I heard that was decent too. So I probably should do that at some point. But we all know that won't happen.
It's an awesome game.
And what I remember from that game is that the story just ramps up. Like as you start figuring stuff out, because
Right.
obviously it's about this is X amount of time after like the end of the world, so there's still all this ancient technology
Buried deep in the ground.
going around. But then
Yeah.
their civilization is super like
Super, yeah.
caveman.
Exactly. Yeah, it's back to primitive times with, basically they're back to the Bronze Age where they're making weaponry, but not much beyond that.
So yeah, figuring out like as you get closer to the end of the game, you get to start to see how the collapse happened and everything. Like that's the most interesting stuff. And this is one of the games which I don't do this a ton for, but if I pick up like an audio log or a video diary or something, it was a game that I was actually reading that stuff because it throws a lot extra. They do fine with having people talk to you, the stuff that you're not going to miss. That's all good and well, but adding that extra little bit of story detail is just it's a real good game. I'm glad you're playing it.
Me too. I've only owned it for probably 18 months now, so it's about time. It was either that or Last of Us, and I played The Last of Us. I played about the first 10 minutes of it, and I cried, so I'm going to give that one a break.
Yeah, Last of Us doesn't exactly pull any
No, it
punches
sure
in the
doesn't.
emotion department.
Especially with a man in my situation.
Yeah, I could definitely see that hitting a little closer. to
Yeah,
home
it hits
for
the
you.
daddy strings just a little bit.
All right, who's up next? Chaotic playing some Pokemon Let's Go. Oh wait, actually, he stepped out for a second, so I'm not going to throw anything his way. All right, well, I'll go with me. I went camping all weekend, and that took up a lot of my time. But before I left, I finally rolled credits, the actual credits on Red Dead Redemption 2. I beat both epilogues, and then hopefully convinced Moose that he should finish them.
I'm doing my chores right now. I think I'm through the monotonous part of the first epilogue, so I got my guns back. So that's all I can say, I guess.
Yeah. So as you're going through this whole thing that's just leading into the first Red Dead Redemption game, it definitely starts slow, but ramps up, and by the time this thing ends, like the last hour of it is some of the most intense moments throughout the whole game, I would say. So
how long is it to complete both epilogues? I heard it's like 3 or 4 hours.
it did not seem long at all.
Okay.
I was going to say like 2 hours, maybe a piece, maybe a little longer, but
Because
they were quick.
just finishing that game, trying to play any more of it made me anxious because it was, I want to say I was 70 hours into the game when I quote unquote rolled credits. So
Yeah,
I didn't want to, I wasn't ready for another long slog like that.
Yeah, this is a game for me where the amount of times I set it down and picked it back up, I feel like that's the only way I could have completed this
Right.
game, is because if I sat down and played just this through, it's all I'd be playing for 2-3 months, and that'll obviously burn you out. But coming back, playing these epilogues, finishing the game, I've done that all the last few weeks, and that is just one good game. I know it had its issues for some people, but it's a game that if I think I was on a limited budget, or like when I was a kid, if I could only have like a game
Right.
every 6 months or something, this would have been the game, because there's so much there, and it's the best cowboy simulator ever. And if you're not into that, obviously you're not gonna like it. But on top of that, the story pretty much all the way through is top notch.
Right. It starts off a bit slow, but definitely by the time you get to chapter 3, it's pretty exciting.
That's
But
what I was going to say to you, Risky. You've obviously put the amount of time that you've put in it, and Moose has obviously put the same amount of time into it as well. How flawed a game do you think that is? If they had obviously taken out the monotony of the horse travelling and things like that, how much more do you think they would have improved the game?
And that's the thing for me. That's literally the only flaw I found in this game. It's Rockstar shooting. It's like the Grand Theft Auto shooting and like gameplay of that, where you just kind of it auto aims and you flick up a little bit to get headshots. That can obviously be improved to something more challenging, because it's definitely not that challenging of a game, especially when you have the Deadeye mode where you just go into slow motion. But
because that was like one of the members of the community is like had said that is they were so buzzing for Red Dead 2 coming out, because they'd been a massive fan of Revolver and the first obviously console one, and they felt so underwhelmed by how, as much as they enjoyed the story once they got to the end of it, the actual process to get to the end part of it ruined the game for it, because graphically it was gorgeous, story wise it was fantastic, but gameplay wise it really let itself down, for the fact of it dragged out so much with the amount of travelling that you had to do via horse.
I think they had to do it that way though. I think if you were able to fast travel all over the place, and it would really take you out of the game. You know what I mean?
Moose.
And I also wonder how many people never took advantage of the stagecoach option, because if I had to cover half or like a whole map, I would just go to the stagecoach, pay the $12 or whatever it was, and that's essentially fast traveling there. Not to mention the horse riding. You could put it on the like auto cinematic mode, and if you had something to do, like if you had your phone by you, you had anything, there was ways to remedy it, but like most people would say, there's no reason for that to even be an issue. They should have maybe like once you traveled to a place, you unlocked a fast travel option so that you had.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I know it's bizarre. I came on this episode and we've mentioned Witcher 3 X amount of times. In Witcher 3, it's not like you can literally just open up the game and fast travel wherever you want to. You have to be at a signpost to fast travel to the place that you want to go. That system obviously works well in Witcher 3. Why not implement something like that in Red Dead and make it so much easier to get around the map, instead of this whole stick it on the back of a horse and play on your phone while you end up from one side of the map to the other?
But Witcher, you can just
argument for
go to sleep and be healthy again. So
I know.
Is a game-breaking type deal.
So part of what you miss out on if you're not actually riding is you have the random encounters all over the map where you could get held up. You could have somebody who got bit by a snake or something, and you go over and can help them out. You have beggars on the side of the road. You're going to miss all that stuff fast traveling. If you're just doing it all the time. I think there's a happy medium somewhere that needed to be hit, and it wasn't. I agree. But I didn't let that take anything away from the game. Personally, I love that game, and I still think it was as good as I did when I started it.
So as somebody who's put, I don't know, maybe 3 hours into the game at most, is it something that you would highly recommend, like get past this first X amount of stage, and then once you're past that, you'll start to see the benefit of it?
Yeah, and one big part of it is that the slow build-up is totally intentional.
Right.
Like,
absolutely.
What you're doing in the first quarter of this game-ish is you're getting to learn some of these characters doing totally monotonous things. Like, if somebody asks you if you want to go fishing, just say yes. And that might not be the most fun thing in the world, but, like, the stories and dialogue that you're having with this person, it makes anything that happens later in the game so much more impactful.
Right. Just riding with the people in your crew to the missions and just holding down the left trigger or whatever it is to activate the conversations, and just listen to it the whole way, and you don't even realize that you're traversing across the map.
I mean, I think the part I'm at in the game is, I can't remember which comes first. I've experienced both parts, so one of you two can maybe guide me. I've done the bit where you rob the train, and I've also done the bit where you learn how to actually hunt animals with a bow and arrow. So whatever part comes further on in the game, I'm roughly about there.
Okay.
But it just the whole sticking on a horse and having to run back and forward was really monotonous. But as if you are saying, once that's like purposely done until you get to a certain point, so that it really hypes up what's about to happen, then it might be worth jumping back into.
I would basically just mainline all your yellow quests until you get to the Braithwaite Mansion.
Braithwaite Mansion.
Yeah.
That's a good mission. I love that one.
Yep. That's kind of where everything starts to take off from there.
There's so many huge moments, dude. Yeah, it's worth it if you can get past the riding stuff, which sucks. But
how do you think the online will be now that it's came out of beta?
who cares? It doesn't look fun at all.
Yeah, it's, like I like Sadie, and they put a bunch of new Sadie missions in the online, but that's not going to bring me back.
Yeah.
Especially with all the trolling that goes on in that crap, man. I'm either being dragged behind a horse or headshot anytime I try to do something. So
with GTA, they could literally go as crazy as they wanted to. Racetracks, aliens, whatever it may be, they could have gone crazy. You can't really do that with the Wild West.
Yeah, you're pretty handcuffed with technology when you're in the 1800s.
Yeah, but they went mad with some of the DLC for the first Red Dead, where they had the undead.
Oh yeah, the zombie stuff.
So, yeah,
that was completely standalone.
They could go Clint Eastwood and go all cowboys versus aliens. That would be entertaining. Might bring me back.
But I don't think many people are going to jump back into Red Dead Online. I think it's everybody wants GTA online for Red Dead, but you can't necessarily do it in that setting. But it's not.
Just on the subject of Clint Eastwood, and it's not because I have an unhealthy obsession with Borderlands 2. We were sitting. It was to do with Clint Eastwood. It was. I was trying to explain to my fiance the appeal of a cartoon-looking game like Borderlands. I says it's to do with like the references to do with current, or not so much current, but like pop culture. I said there's a gun in the game called the Unkempt Harold, and she went. I was like, if you break the name down, you get Unkempt and you get Harold. Unkempt means dirty, and Harold is another name for Harry. And she went, oh, you mean the Clint Eastwood film? I have never been so proud of her in my whole life. It's the best thing she said in the whole year and a half we've been together.
Like, let me see that ring. God, I'm proud.
Hang on a minute. Not saying yes.
Yeah.
But amazing. Yeah, I mean, go play it, get through it, push through whatever issues you're having, which sounds like just the horse riding, hopefully, which a lot of people had. You know, pick up your phone, download a cell phone game.
And Risky we trust, so I believe.
Look at your news. Right. Agreed. All right, cool. Moose, we talked about this game a little bit last week, but Dauntless came out and you've been playing some of it.
I have.
What's going on with that?
It's a lot of fun. It's like I said before, it's basically like a Monster Hunter Lite. It's not as in depth or, deep as Monster Hunter is as far as crafting and everything, but it's right along those lines. It's on those same rails. It might be the kiddie coaster, you know what I mean?
That I saw that was crossplay,
cross share, cross save, all that good stuff.
Cross everything.
You
and it
betcha.
Dropped that way.
Yep. You can play with
that
PlayStation with your Xbox. I think it's coming out on Switch soon and mobile soon, but it hasn't been released yet. But as far as PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, you can cross-play, but they're having a lot of server issues right now. I'm not gonna lie. Last night
is that affecting your gameplay pretty badly?
Yeah, it is. Last night I jumped on and I was like queue number 40,000 or something like that.
Good Lord!
Yeah,
did you get in?
Yeah, it took about 5 or 6 minutes. It went down pretty quickly. But, and then once you get into the game, you'd think that since everything's full, you wouldn't have a problem matchmaking at all. But for certain missions that I was trying to do to grind for certain items and, the way you do in the Monster Hunter type games, I was having a hard time finding people to matchmake with, and I could have went by myself, but it's a struggle killing a monster with 4 guys, so I don't think soloing it at this point with low-level armor and weapons is a smart idea. So basically,
doesn't that blow your mind when something has it has so many people, we can't get you in right now, and then when they get you in, it's like,
they
hey,
can't
there's
find anybody
nobody here for you to play with.
It's like, what the hell?
Okay.
And there's literally like a handful of missions to do. Like you do a patrol type mission, or you go out and specifically hunt a certain animal, and that it shouldn't be that difficult. Out of, I think there may be like 12 options. Every one of them should be full, and you should be able to matchmake no problem.
And yeah.
So it's a lot of fun, but it's frustrating at the same time. So once
I'm all about a good crossplay game.
But it's epic, so they'll figure it out. They'll just throw money at it.
I was like, they have enough money to figure it out, I think.
I think they're just ramping up slowly so they don't buy a bunch of servers that aren't going to get used or pull things off Fortnite, God forbid.
Exactly. All right, Chaotic. Pokemon Let's Go. We'll try this again. And you're on mute.
Sorry. I was answering Mixer. Two in the multitaskings for me. Yes, let's go. I finally managed to get a hold of a Switch, so I have the child in me took over, and I had to jump on Let's Go Pikachu. So I am running through that. The thing is, it's the same game that came out when I was 13. Probably not even 13. It's exactly the same, only it's on a fancier console.
It looks
you get
better.
to see your Pokemon. Yeah, it looks better. You get to see your Pokemon running around, but it's the exact same game, and I still can't put it down.
What made you pick Pikachu over Eevee? Because I'm new to Pokemon, and I picked Eevee, and I don't know why anybody would pick Pikachu because Eevee has every element.
Yes, it
Eevee's
does.
broken.
Yeah.
It is, but the only benefit of Pikachu, and this is going to really sound so sad for a 30-year-old saying this, once you get past the first gym, which is rock, your next gym after that is water. So Pikachu is a penalty kick with no goalkeeper.
Right.
So
Yeah, because he
it makes
just
it
shocks
so much,
everybody.
Exactly. So it makes it so much easier just to start off and then you can go flying in. With Eevee, although you've got the benefit of pretty much being able to go whichever direction you want to go, to start off with, Pikachu just makes it so easier. As soon as you learn, like, because you've obviously got the benefit in this one where you can actually see the Pokemon that you're having the random encounters with. If you can pick up a grass Pokemon between between Pallet Town and the first gym that you actually get to battle in Pewter City, you're sorted for the first gym. You've already got Pikachu in there, so the second gym that you come across, you're sorted for as well. So that was the only reason that I really opted for Pikachu.
Gotcha.
I was picking up the opposite version of my coworker.
Right.
So
Well,
that's how I ended
That's
up
how you
there.
justify
I've
it.
actually
I gotcha.
said
Yeah.
my supervisor at work has she was looking at buying the same sort of idea as well. So she was like, "What one will I get?" I was like, "Well, get Eevee, because anything that I've caught in my game that's unique, I can catch a duplicate and send to you, and vice versa." So that we've done pretty much the same as that, Riska.
That's You gotta do what you gotta do.
But I'm still one of these sad people that play Pokemon Go on the phone, so it works quite well for that as well.
Good deal. All right, Chocolate.
Yeah.
How's the messenger going?
Doing well. Did the second boss.
Yes. Who was that?
Oh, do you know what? I have no idea. I specifically was like, must remember. Totally gone. No
Do
idea.
you remember anything about the boss?
Yeah, what did they do?
I beat them. Which boss was it? It was
Good Lord.
I think it was the fire. No, it wasn't the fire boss. Fire boss was the first one. Yep, no idea. No
All right, cool.
idea.
Good,
All I know
good.
is I'm in some sort of kind of
Alright.
underground cave and it's green.
I want to say the second boss was the one that was like orange and covered in leaves.
That could be
And
the
that
one.
was like a girl, and she would do like a spin move that would throw a bunch
Yes,
of darts
yeah,
and stuff
should-
out.
Yeah, Spitting should be quite good at jumping around
Yeah.
the map.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Oops.
At least Moose knows how your
Well,
game's going.
Yeah.
At least someone does. But I'm waiting. You guys are, as you mentioned to me, I'm waiting for the kind of the 16-bit, 32-bit type
It'll happen.
change,
Keep
and
playing.
and it's not there for me. That's the.
It'll
I'm kind
get-
of, Is
yeah.
it now?
Just
Is it
gotta
now?
keep going.
Is it now? Yeah, but the game's good, and when you guys were, I think I said it last week about the whole when you mess up or when you miss a jump, it's not the game, it's you.
Yeah.
Happens so many times.
Especially for you, right?
Well, yeah, I'm just like, jump, no, okay, wrong button, no.
How many times have you called Eric in to get you past the part?
Well, Eric showed me that you can, as you know, those little dragons, as they shoot fire, you can actually use your sword to hit it,
Yeah.
and they disappear.
Jump across
yeah,
them.
But
Using
Yeah,
traverse the
I'm-
map.
I'm an idiot. I didn't know that.
Thank God for Eric, right?
I mean, that guy is worth every penny I don't pay him.
Would you quit
Chocolate,
firing
do you
him then?
actually? I was going to say, do you think you could get through a day without Eric in your life?
No, I mean Eric's family. He's
Is he
Is that what you
Is
call him?
that what you call him?
Forced family?
Well,
you can't really
to his
lock
face.
somebody in a room and class them as family. That's kind of uncool.
The man
Stockholm
serves me
syndrome.
my. my fantastic
exactly.
vodka and tonic. He knows how to
and
mix
tonic.
my bourbon correctly.
Ooh, bourbon, I'll take that.
I like the man. When he's not here, he's shining my shoes. But anyway, let's move on.
Do you ever wonder what type of opinion people form on you when they're coming into this podcast for the first time and we talk about you having servants and stuff?
Well, hopefully they're not looking at my picture, but the next picture I'm going to post, I'm going to have a monocle, a nice top hat, a nice kind of handlebar moustache, and I'm going to class up.
Yeah.
That's
little
just how
suit.
you look every day, except for
full
that one
disclosure,
picture.
it's Sunday. Eric has a day off, so nobody's there to shave chocolate.
Well, I mean, that was
Wait
my
a minute,
silk
whoa,
pyjamas.
wait a minute. Who are you kidding, Moose, that Eric gets a day off? He's 7 days, 24/7.
Poor guy.
No, I'm not allowed to work him to the bone, unfortunately. There's a few human right laws in my county I live in, so
Damn those human rights.
I know. And
Wow.
I voted anyway. One day off a month, that's more than enough.
Okay,
I love how you were about to dig yourself a bigger hole there.
I know, and I
Just
really
went,
sidestepped that big time, didn't I?
I'll just hold.
Yeah. And that's why we shouldn't do the show live.
All right. Oh my God! Another person who plays this terrible game. Chaotic. Tell me about Football Manager. I'm sure it's really
great.
exciting. Can't wait to hear some more. I'm
You
gonna.
guys
I'm gonna go
have
to the
fun.
bathroom.
Yeah,
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
Wait a minute. Well, before you disappear, Risky, let me explain it better than Sweeney managed to last week. Right? Okay.
No, I'm already gone. See.
I'm out.
You are in a lovely part of the New York district in Syracuse. How amazing would it be if you could take the dumpster fire of the New York Giants, right? Raise them up to be the best team that's ever stepped foot on God's green earth. Would that not make you feel just amazing?
No, it just make me feel sad because it's not real life.
No, that's what they're trying to do by
Granted.
being in the dumpster every year. They get a first-round draft pick. They're going to have
And-
22 first-round draft picks here pretty soon. They're going to have to be good.
I'm
Come
just associating where you stay, Moose, to your NFL team. And you might not be a Broncos fan, but
Oh,
can
I'm
you
a season
really-
ticket holder, sir. You be careful.
Can you really speak about how bad the Giants are?
Ooh.
Yeah, because we've won a Super Bowl since they did.
Granted, but they had to beat the best team that's ever played football twice
Oh
to
my
win their
God.
Super Bowl. So
Moving on.
This guy's gross.
Anyway,
Get
back
him
to-
out of here.
back to the point. It's the ability to basically take a team that you hold near and dear and make them as good as possible. It might not be everybody's cup of tea, but being able to play that you do fantasy football for our ESPN thing that we did and things like that. It's basically the real life version of that, where you have more control over everything and you get to see your team achieve things that they probably will never achieve in real life. So you get that happy-go-lucky feeling of, hey, my team's actually better than what they are in real life.
But can't
Okay,
you do
fair.
all that in FIFA and actually play the game?
Not really, because in FIFA you're pretty much it actually takes longer to get through a season in FIFA than it does to get through a season in Football Manager.
Yeah, also
They don't
limited.
actually play any games in Football Manager.
Yeah, that's
No,
like the
but
fun
then-
part, isn't it?
But this
I
whole
don't understand.
this whole AFK thing where you can literally set it up, set your team up, set the thing, click continue, and then just walk away.
It just makes me mad that that's okay, but riding your horse around in one of the best games of this generation,
Yeah.
just you can't
Because-
sit there and wait for that.
Haven't you ever
But
heard of
Football
Clicker
Man-
Heroes?
But Football Manager is designed to be like that. If I'm playing a Western shooter, I expect to be shooting everybody every 2 minutes.
Nothing's
Not-
stopping you from shooting your guns up in the air while you ride around on your horse.
Well, this is very true. I can see that we're not going to agree on this matter, but still.
No, 100% not.
It's people who are into people who have a vested interest in football. Football Manager is one of the greatest games made for that exact point. There's nothing better than you find this young gem and then you bring him into your system, and next thing you know, he's the next Lionel Messi. There's nothing better than the essential achievement of you had a hand in shaping his future.
But that's Alex. What's
Yeah,
his
man,
name? Alex
teach their own.
Is it Alex Jones? Isn't that the guy from the stories?
Alex Hunter.
Alex Hunter.
Alex Hunter.
There you go. My bad.
Alex Hunter.
I played through 17 and 18 with him. I haven't got through the 19 story yet.
Oh,
19's the best one, to be fair.
Is it?
some would say the best yet.
Well, I got 10 hours on the trial, so I'll consider
Yeah.
it done.
power
The thi-
through that.
The problem with the trial is you get to X amount of point and you can't actually go further
that's
on the
right.
journey. So
I think that's why I
Can't you
beat FIFA 8 or bought FIFA 18 last year.
Just wait for EA access.
Yeah,
yeah, it'll drop in access. It's probably going to be in there
next month
August,
or
September time.
yeah. I was gonna say maybe July.
It's got to be real soon, yeah.
Yeah, it can't be much longer than what it is.
They
just
tend
now,
to
'cause,
drop
like,
them about a
Madden
month before release of the next game just to get people in and playing the game.
Yeah, Madden usually drops
But-
just after the Super Bowl. So normally when the season's finished and the
Right,
next season's
okay.
due to start in the football, they bring in FIFA. So
Right, and you guys end in June, right?
yeah, well, I think the league season's finished now, so that's May. But there's still the Champions League final,
Right.
which is next week.
Yep.
And then after that, that's us pretty much done.
Go Spurs.
Well,
Don't start this. Don't do that.
Hey, I just gotta say, I played for the Hotspurs when I was in competitive soccer when I was little, and that's the only affiliation I have for that team. So,
Ah, okay, so nothing to do with the San Antonio one.
no,
Good,
no,
good,
sir. I'm a
good,
Nuggets fan.
Oh, so you don't know much about winning in that respect. Then.
We almost okay. That's fine. You'll see.
Carmelo Anthony is from Syracuse.
Yeah, he was good
That's all I got.
He was good.
Was. Yes.
until he left the
Was,
Nuggets.
Yes. Keyword, yes.
And this has been your sports talk for this episode.
Yeah.
All right, one last thing before we get going, or before we continue. The Division 2. Chaotic Chocolate, you guys both playing this? Moose, I know you've just been sitting there waiting for people to play.
Still
and
waiting.
Chocolate's probably level. What's the
We
update
aren't
this week?
good
Did you go
enough
up,
for you, Moose.
did you go up
Sorry.
2 levels?
I think I went up 2 levels. I want to say 16, 17. Chaotic.
I want to say that's
and-
like 45 minutes.
I was gonna
of
say, are you guys
gameplay
playing this like
ish.
7 minutes at a time?
Yeah.
Possibly. We get distracted very easily.
see
Um,
that.
Football manager.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey. But that's the good thing with Football Manager. You can stick that on and then put Division on, click continue, play Division, finish your mission, and jump back to Football Manager. Boom.
That's why you kept dying.
Chocolate. Let's not get started.
I think
on
everybody
who
kept
spent
dying
most of their
because
time-
chocolate, probably.
Yeah,
Did-
let's not spend.
Yeah.
Let's not blame who's who on who spent most of the time on the floor.
Yeah, let's maybe not. Let's maybe
Although
not.
quite
He's just
worryingly, though,
perfecting
when
his
anybody
crawl.
else on the. But the thing is, most worryingly, when most of the team went down whilst it was Chocolate still standing, he had the habit of like going up to you and going to revive you, stopping, running round the back of you, so you were like,
And then you're a
Right
human
behind him.
shield.
and then reviving.
Yeah, let's just say some of the revives, if when I took a screenshot of them, it didn't. It was a bit compromising.
A little bit.
Oh, I think you've
So,
sent me a few of those from Division 1.
Yeah.
Some of the positions Chocolate puts himself in to revive you are a little bit questionable.
It's not intentional either.
Oh, sure. It's
Yeah,
not.
of course it's not.
I think Super Catrix, she revived me once when we were playing with Chester, and she managed to get her character in not an. It was a very compromising position, especially as her husband was in the background
Inappropriate.
protecting us. Yeah,
Cho-
it was
Chocolate, are
all
you
kinds
just
of
jealous
wrong.
you
Some
didn't-
guys are into that.
Do you know what? Each to their own. If that's what your thing, so be it.
Good lord.
But the division, and the reviving aspect of the game, they need to slightly tweak it because it does look. I've got a filthy, horrible mind, and it looks wrong.
Or it's just a
All
guy
right, great.
reviving another guy, Chocolate. It's a video game, buddy.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I should.
I was
We'll,
going to
we'll
say.
move on for that.
Yeah, I'll bite my tongue on what I was going to say.
Okay, so we good on the Division 2 update for this
I
week?
think we need to move on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Moose, we will catch up to you eventually, and we will be World Tier 5, and we will eventually do the raid together.
I was going
but
to say,
it
we
might
only
be
need
this time
8 of
next
us.
year.
So,
Oh, is that it?
yeah. In one place at
Well, I
one
think-
time.
As me and Chocolate were saying earlier, I think we were going to plan on jumping in quite a bit this week, so we might get up to about level 25 maybe.
Cool.
Maybe.
Oh God, I hope, I wish.
Yeah, I was telling you guys earlier, I don't think it would help for me to jump in with you because I would just raise the
No.
level so high that you guys would get one-shotted all the time.
But I thought it's... So how does it work with the leveling up?
I
in
believe
that
it just
respect? 'Cause I
scales
thought
to
it
the highest
scaled
level.
everything.
Because
But
Risky,
does
you
it not
remember?
scale?
You remember when we played before you went on vacation and you were up over 30 and none of us were, and it was really difficult for 3 of us. And
Oh, yeah. I think that was because it was before I had hit... Or no, because I was still in like World Tier 4.
yeah,
when that was
so
going on.
we were
right?
in like level
So what-
25.
Chester's just put up in chat on Mixer saying it scales health as well, but you're always a level behind the leader. So
okay.
I thought that would have I thought that would have increased your ability to survive hits and the damage of your guns. So if that was the case, then surely God, even if we jumped in with you, Moose, then we would be able to hold our own. Well, maybe not Chocolate, but that's just because he's as useless.
Because I'm a dreadful player. But
Hey,
no, I
he
thought
takes
there
away
was-
some bullets from the enemies.
Yeah,
on the sponge. Yeah.
Meat shield.
I was going to say though, isn't it something to do? I'm sure they said there was something about there was a certain buffer. You had to be within a certain amount of levels.
Oh, really?
For the whole, yeah. I can't
We can
remember
try
too
it.
much into it.
I'm willing to give it a shot.
I'm definitely game for jumping in with somebody because I had said to I can't remember who it was. It was on a couple of weeks back about Borderlands. I think it was maybe a Ledonian, and at least with things like that, if for Borderlands, if it doesn't matter which level you are because there's no scaling up, but you can hold back and still get the benefits of being something in.
Right, and the way I understand this game, it's not like the other one where the bosses drop your exotic weapons. You have to go and farm pieces and build the guns. So you've got to go get
really?
the scope. You've got to go get the stock. Yeah, and then once you have all those pieces, then you can build that exotic weapon. So they want you to keep playing through these side missions and all these strongholds and everything multiple times to farm this equipment in order to be raid ready.
Oh, that's pretty good then.
Definitely an interesting way to do it.
Right. I don't like
How-
it.
how
I'd
you
rather
doing
them just
with
drop
this
me the gun. But, I like things done
True.
the fast way.
What'd you say,
You're
Caleb?
risky. You're world tier 4, I think, from last week I heard.
Yeah, 4. So I mean, I could get up to 5 in a night in one play session. I'm almost positive of this. I need to actually do it.
But he's playing Pirates or Blackout, so.
Well, this is true. So from what I'm reading for the raid is it doesn't matter if you're world tier 5 because that's not enough. You really have to be like
Right.
min-maxing your
Yeah,
character.
you have to be 500 gear score. Plus, you have to have you have to maximize your DPS for everything, or you're not even. Basically, your bullets are bouncing off
So
you
is it-
guys.
So is it every character needs to be maximising their DPS,
Yeah.
or is there like different roles?
No.
Because like some
Yeah.
raids work with like support and things like
From
that.
everything I've read on a couple of different Discord servers and articles, it's basically everybody go DPS at this point. And also,
Because who was it?
in the news,
I'm
they said that they're not going to alter the raid at all
Nerf
for
it.
console players. So
Because who was it that posted in Discord the other day saying it was like 30 minutes
Right,
for
yeah.
PC,
I was-
but 8 hours for.
the record is 23 minutes on PC, and then it's ridiculous. It's I think at
That's
least 5 hours.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I think it was Scotland that
Was it Scotland?
posted it. Yeah,
I know, because he's hit that game pretty hard as well, hasn't he?
Right.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
he's been playing
He's
it.
been trying to raid with a
Him
few
and-
different clans, I think.
Is it Aero Ben as well? He's really went
Right.
deep in
Yep.
this game.
He's been playing with the X1 Bros clan, I think, and they've been doing the raid. I don't know if they've beat it yet or not, but I know they got into the final wave or boss or whatever it is, but I don't think they've actually completed it yet.
That's nuts.
And it's been out a week, almost a week and a half now.
And none of us in the community
Haven't
have
even touched
came
it,
close
right?
to touching it. Because you think of like the Destiny ones where like the raids were like getting turned over numerous times a week.
Yeah.
Nobody has even touched this in the community.
The
yet.
word raid gives me a little bit of anxiety because I think of, hunker down, get your Mountain Dew and whatever garbage food you got, and be ready to play for the next 6 to 8 hours, no excuses.
I mean, the only time I've ever done anything like this in a raid, I think I did one in Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the disadvantages of not having a solid core of players when Destiny 1 came out. And I was like quite blown away how much it actually takes to do a full raid. Like, it's not just a case of as long as you're good at shooting a gun, you're going to run through a raid.
Yeah.
Like the interest it takes to do like the tactics
Puzzle
and the puzzles
mechanics,
and things
exactly.
like that. And I've never actually had the ability to jump into a group, well, apart from obviously being part of the community, to get an actual raid team to do. I know Anthem's obviously got things coming out, and Destiny 2 had one, but the one for Division, I really would think that getting through that with a team is going to be a massive sense of achievement.
Right, and that's, I didn't play through the raids on Destiny 1 initially, so I basically got carried through 3 or 4 years later.
Yeah, I was the same.
And so I beat it in an hour and a half or whatever it was, and I was like, BFD, that was cool and all, but And everybody's like, well, you don't
What's all the hype
understand.
about?
It took us 14 hours to beat it the first time. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
wow,
'Cause I
that
think the
doesn't
one I
sound
did
like
was
fun at all.
the-
Why would you do that?
The only one I've ever done is like that was classed as a raid was the Vault of Glass, and that
Yeah.
was it.
That's the one I did
That's
too.
my favorite.
Yeah.
That's
OG.
the only that's the only raid I've ever done through it being Division
Yeah.
2, Destiny 2.
I've completed
Raid, no
a couple segments of the Destiny 2 raid, but I haven't finished everything and gotten to the throne room.
Even that was fun. I mean, that's what, from what I've been hearing, that's the thing that's annoying me about the Division 2 is this kind of seems like people are getting stuck on just
A boss
bosses
fight,
being
that's-
too
yeah.
overpowered. It has nothing
Yeah.
to do with mechanics and communication
What is
and that kind of stuff, where if you couldn't beat Vault of Glass, it was because somebody wasn't doing their job, which most likely wasn't just sit and shoot at said boss. It was, if you don't shoot that thing out of the air quick enough, we're going to fail the whole thing, where it's just,
right?
I don't know.
What is it, like
I think-
hashtag F Benny or something like that? It's like the first boss in the raid takes people sometimes like over an hour to beat, just putting ammo on him and trying to fight ads off at the same time.
Yeah, like, that's not a raid mechanic. That's just
That's
a boss at the end of a
brutal.
level. It's
Yeah,
that sucks.
I mean, like I can't remember which one it was. I'm sure it was Vault of Glass, but you'll be able to maybe inform me for the Destiny players. It was the one where there's the jump puzzle, so you have to jump down different levels to
Yeah.
get to this like little plateau to get to the next one. That's like I say, that's the only other raid I've done, but that seems more in tune with what a raid should be, not just a case of can you be a bullet sponge to absorb this bullets, and can you do enough damage to kill the person that's you have to kill to get the loot. The Destiny ones seem like it's been thought out a lot more than just do X, Y, and Z and then get to this final boss and see if you can survive.
Right.
Right, like even just speaking to Vault of Glass, which was the very first one, it's like you started off, you had to have people on X amount of pillars
Right, activate.
until a door opens. So you had to like hold, right, so you had to fortify a position and go through that, whatever. There was another part where it was stealth. You had to avoid the stupid watcher things, otherwise they would be alerted and everyone would die. So you had like a stealth section. You had the jumping part that you're talking about where you're platforming. And then your final raid boss had certain mechanics where somebody got teleported to a different world, and it could have been 2 different worlds. And then once they did something in there, you could do damage on the outside toward the boss. It was so complex, and it was their first raid ever.
was
And then
fantastic.
and I remember the communication was key because everybody had to pick different, those shiny cubes that would show up. You'd have to shoot them, and if you didn't shoot them in time, everybody would die. So you had to communicate, okay, I got upper left, I got middle, I got back right, and you got to make sure that everybody's got their spot covered or everybody fails.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like the bit that you were saying in the raid rescue where like the person goes in like this teleport and they have to reach a certain part to like obviously lower the shields on the guy that everybody else is waiting for. And that like survivability part where you can't do anything until the person that's went through the portal hits that part. That is what a raid should be, not just, let's fire as many bullets as possible and hope for the best.
Right. So that kind of seems like the downfall of this raid, but maybe the next one will be beatable.
We're going to wait for Ben to get it down, and then 7 of us will follow him through.
Yeah, agreed.
Maybe Ben and Dan.
Yeah, just let them two run through it and we'll just tag along.
Exactly. All right. Anybody else have anything else that they may have forgotten? Want to touch on before we get moving?
Nope, I think we're good.
All right, cool. Chocolate, let's go over to you for a couple more giveaways.
We are going to drop these. Well, we've got 2 here. I'm going to drop a code in Discord. Plug, hint, hint. And I'm going to drop another one in the Mixer chat in a second. But the most important or biggest giveaway we're going to do is our physical copies, or physical items, I should say. So we have a Cross Atlantic Gaming t-shirt. Now, because shipping is a pain in the backside, I apologise to everyone else. These are going to be specific for one for the UK, a CAG t-shirt, and we are doing a mysterious box for the United States.
It sounds so much scarier when you call it a mysterious box rather
Mysterious.
than
It
a
does.
mystery box.
I want to go
I
for
wouldn't
it.
touch a mysterious box. I'm all about mystery boxes.
That could
though.
be a bomb, not gonna lie.
I wanted to give it a bit of, a little something about it. Okay.
A little bit of mystery.
Mystery. Hello. So, to get these 2 items, obviously you're going to have to be in Discord. You have got till Tuesday. Well, no, actually, yeah, it'll be Tuesday midnight when we post in the announcements that the podcast is dropping live for everyone else. You need to go on our last announcement channel. I had this all worked out in my head and failed miserably.
Yeah, this is rough.
Oh no, this is terrible.
It happens.
It happened. Right, so Thursday's post at 4:14 p.m. Risky has posted something. Everyone who clicks on the GG will be entered. You have till Tuesday, and that's when it will close, and we will pick a random person, one from the UK for a t-shirt and one from the US for the mysterious box. And I'm always going to call it the mysterious box.
What's in the
To
box?
see the people that's already who's already
What's in
clicked
my
on the
box?
thing, should they unclick if they don't want put into it?
If they don't want the mystery box.
If you, well, it's
Because
only
I'm
you.
thinking, am I the only person that's clicked into
Yeah,
it?
it's only the GG. I'm the other person who brought it up, so I can't win something I'm giving
Guys,
away.
come on.
So click on that GG if you want to be entered in. Yeah, I'm going to drop the codes now, so I'm going to let Risky carry on and try and decipher all that rubbish I just spouted.
Yeah, just get into Discord, go to the announcements, click the GG that everybody's clicking on, and maybe you'll win something cool. I think that's about it. Right? It's as easy as that.
It was. We've just had someone click on it now.
Oh,
Well
go,
done, Fists.
Go. Keep clicking.
Fists.
Keep
Keep
clicking.
clicking.
Damn you, fists.
Click it.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's really off-putting when you've got like messages coming through from people like saying, "What GG? Where is the GG? How can I find this GG?"
Follow the
Good luck, everybody.
instructions.
Exactly. Well, he's a bit slow, so we'll not say that.
And if for whatever reason you need help, just reach out to
Chocolate.
any of the hosts, I guess. Yeah, actually, Chocolate. Yeah, just reach out to Chocolate.
Yeah, reach out to me. I'll help you.
He deserves to repair this mess he's made.
Exactly, chocolate.
All right, before we get to the news, quick announcement on Game Pass Roulette. That is going to be, I want to say next week's
Yep.
episode. Yeah, okay, which isn't episode 55 then. It's episode 54. Not that that matters. If you have feedback for the show, get it in this next week. You got one more week to play For the King. That is our current Game Pass game. If you have any questions, feedback, there's a channel for that in Discord. And while you're there, go over and hit that GG button on that announcement. Get yourself entered for a chance to win a mysterious box.
Risky's announcement.
On my announcement,
Du- du-
it's the only one with GG.
Correct.
And if people are competing for this and they're smart, they're just going to put GG on all the announcements. Yeah, confuse everybody. We're talking about the one from Thursday at 11:14 from me.
Yeah.
Anyways, with that, let's get into some news. All right, Chocolate, what is in the news this week?
You're lucky I'm back. So, anti-loot box bill earns support on both sides.
All
What's
right.
going on?
So
On
Moose,
both
you want to
sides?
do this one?
yeah,
Yep.
basically, a senator. I want to say it was a Republican senator proposed a bill basically to ban all pay-to-win schemes as well as blind loot boxes from all gaming. Kind of similar to what they're doing over in the European Union. And basically, it's getting some traction because it's got support and signing. People signing support on both sides of the aisle. So if you've got bipartisan support, usually things become action.
Become
pretty,
real.
Yeah, exactly. They become action pretty quickly. So if
Yeah,
you're
that's-
into your FIFA packs, sorry, I think they may be gone.
Nope.
But those things are
In fairness, we've been really
infuriating.
good with that. We did the whole season this year with not buying any.
And you still got
any
plenty of
packs.
packs, right? You just have to grind it out and play the ultimate challenges. Like that's at least
Well,
what
I
I did
think-
in Madden.
I think the main people who was like playing it was myself, Chocolate, Sweeney,
Right,
Fists, and there was a couple others, and then Ryan, who fair plays to him, is still grinding FIFA,
Yeah, he is.
which is considering, I think Chocolate, when was the last time you played it? I know I've not played it probably since about Christmas.
Ultimate Team, I have not touched. Probably I think I got absolutely hammered in a game, and it was all broken mechanics. So I was out from, I think it was January, maybe Feb.
See, I did the Futmas part there, and once I'd done Futmas, it was like after that I was done. I've not touched Team of the Season or shit like this, but it's unreal how bad or how much they've ruined FIFA 19 this year.
With the boxes?
Not even much that. I think the whole way that they've treated the game, it has been one of the, I think Chocolate will agree, it's been one of the worst FIFAs in a few years in regards to the gameplay.
Yeah, it's not been a
good year for FIFA.
No. I think I finally had it. It just feels the same old rehashed.
Yeah.
Skinned over.
So are you guys PES fans now?
Oh no, never. Although the thing is, right, being from Scotland, obviously Celtic and Rangers are a massive part of Scottish football culture.
Right.
They outsell their stadiums more than most of the teams in England. But Pro Evolution Soccer are one of the few, are the only company that have actually went out their way to incorporate things like Celtic Park and Ibrox into their game and try to have the player likeness exactly as they are in real life. FIFA is obviously FIFA don't care about the Scottish market. Most people don't care about the Scottish market. But for the fact that they've went above and beyond to try and get the Scottish market into their game, I have to commend them on that. And according to Ryan, who plays a lot more football games than I do, Pro Evolution Soccer this season has been a vast improvement over the last couple of years.
Well, good. So they need some competition, right?
Yeah.
Competition's a good thing.
It's the same with everything. Like if it wasn't for Fortnite and Fortnite and PUBG, would Blackout exist, for example, or Apex, things like that.
Yeah, it needs that pushing. It needs
it needs something else to take away from one to give to the other.
Yeah, of course.
Sure. But the bill that was proposed is called the Protecting Child from Abusive Games Act. And,
the PCAG.
The only pushback, yeah, that one.
That one.
The only pushback that I've seen from the gaming community is basically this is a bill being proposed by a guy that knows nothing about gaming. So a lot of the language inside of it is pretty predatory towards gaming or gamers, and people don't like that. They basically say that this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. But, and on the other side of the fence, I got to agree that these things are pretty predatory and geared towards kids, and that's not a cool thing.
Yeah, what the scary part of all of this is that if something does pass and you can't do this kind of thing anymore, I don't know. A lot of people are gonna, like, a lot of developers are gonna lose so much money, and that's gonna do nothing but hurt the games industry. As crappy as microtransactions are and that kind of stuff. But I mean, I guess this is only loot boxes. That's not to say that you can't just buy a cosmetic straight up for $1.99 or something. So you might see that more, which probably isn't a bad thing.
That's how Ubisoft does it with their stores. Everything's pretty much cosmetic.
Exactly. There's nothing
as
that
far
makes
as what
the
you
game
can buy, what you can pay. Yeah.
easier. Like,
except they do give you, which I did
boosts,
take
right?
advantage of.
You could buy
them.
them.
The XP and the money boosts. That was like, it was like $15.
Pay to win garbage.
Yeah, but you
can't win,
that will
though.
no longer be available.
but the thing is, as much as XP boosts help,
But it's a single player
It's
game,
not-
so it's not like
it's not
yeah.
breaking the game. Like, see in FIFA,
Right.
if you have £1,000 spare that you can spend on packs, you can make your team ridiculously good regardless of your skill level. If you get an XP
Right.
boost, you still have to be good enough at the game to get through the levels that you're going to get the XP on to make yourself good at.
Yep.
Then on single player games,
Because that's the thing too. Is in Assassin's Creed, the enemies scale with
Exactly.
you. So it doesn't really help you as far as the XP, other than leveling up and unlocking things. When you level up, you get skill points basically. So it just gets you that quicker.
Exactly. So it's not like it's breaking the game and making it easier to win.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, it is what it is, I guess. A lot of developers are just going to have to rethink how they're doing microtransactions.
Yeah. They'll get creative and figure out how to suck money out of kids. That's that they've been doing for 50
I think
years.
the
Put it
big
like
one.
this. if companies spent more time making their games not broken and really good to play, they would make more money than having to resort to broken ass games with loot boxes in them.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, I agree completely. All right, what's up next?
We have got Call of Duty 2019 title Modern Warfare.
Yeah. So that happened.
I feel like we've been there before,
Sounds
right?
familiar.
We're going
It's
from
it's a soft reboot.
Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare back to just Call of Duty Modern Warfare. This is like Battlefield 1 all over again, or the Xbox One all over again.
Right. And from what I've read, there's not a whole lot of information out there other than it's going to be a soft reboot of the past two Modern Warfare titles. And the campaign's going to be an emotionally heavy story inspired by the Modern Warfare 2 campaign, which kind of cut us all deep, didn't it?
Yeah, that's such a good campaign, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll buy it.
Cool.
You know,
I mean,
I'm
I'll
usually on
obviously
board
buy
for
it.
whatever they put out, so.
Yeah, Infinity Ward has always been probably my favorite. Well, Treyarch's real good nowadays too, I guess. But those Modern Warfare games were all really, really solid. And if they're just going back to Modern Warfare, which first of all, it's just going to be called Modern Warfare, which means it's going to be a Modern Warfare game, and you can't ask for
Right.
anything more than going back to how good
That's
those
the
games
best.
were, and just not having
Right.
jetpacks, but also not being like World War II where all the guns suck more than anything. It's like there's a happy medium
Right.
somewhere, and it's Modern Warfare. So
Today's tech.
exactly, I'm pumped for it. It's gonna be
Absolutely.
so good. We do have a little more Call of Duty news. This is Call of Duty 2020, so this is the one that's going to come out after this next Modern Warfare game. This is not going to be developed by Sledgehammer anymore, and they're the people that made Ghosts and the most recent one. What was that called? Infinite Warfare, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Which I actually really like.
Or Advanced Warfighter. One of the
That
two.
was
No,
I think
you're
that's
right.
a Ghost Recon game.
Yeah, you're right. Advanced Warfare. I
Um,
can't remember. Never mind.
all right,
Don't listen
done
to me.
listening to you. The Infinite Warfare campaign was actually really good. If you've never played it, I enjoyed it a lot. That tugged on my heartstrings
Yeah.
more than a lot of the other ones, and that was you had a robot on your team in that one. So, but yeah, so Sledgehammer and Raven, who Raven assists on a lot of the Call of Duty games. I believe they are the ones that consult on multiplayer or help develop the multiplayer. So apparently they were butting heads, Sledgehammer and Raven were, so
Right.
they're both being taken out of the cycle of the three devs that we usually have making the Call of Duty games. So the 2020 game is actually going to be being made by Treyarch, who are just coming off of putting out Black Ops 4. So they're getting a year shorter of a cycle than they normally do.
Not only are Sledgehammer and Raven being pulled as the lead, but they're actually being asked to support now. So they've been backseated and benched, basically.
Yeah, and if they have expertise in any specific areas, they may help.
Right, because I believe one of the companies was developing a Cold War type campaign, and that is now going to be implemented into the new Black Ops 5 game.
Cool.
So the new setting of Black Ops 5, apparently, spoilers, is going to be the Cold War.
Time travel. It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. There's no continuity.
Like I said, Treyarch's one of my favorite, and if they can get it done right in 2 years instead of 3, but with the help of Sledgehammer and Raven, like you mentioned, cool. It's just weird breaking up that
that's
cycle.
the only thing
I
that
feel
I
like this
read
cycle has been going on forever.
Yeah, as far as pushback is, the employees at Treyarch are kind of anxious
Talk
at this
about
point
crunch.
because they were killing themselves to get that Black Ops 4 done in 3 years, and now they have 2 years. Surprise!
But hopefully that extra manpower will make
Hopefully.
life a little less stressful.
that don't get along and play nice with each other.
Yeah, right? They have to sit in different rooms with the Treyarch developers.
Your job is runner. You go between and just talk.
The middleman.
If you two
Yeah.
can just colour this screen, and then you're done. Thank you.
Thank you. I bid you adieu. All right, what's up next, Chocolate?
We've got PlayStation Productions.
Oh boy! So Sony introduced a new branch of Sony, I guess, and this is going to be a video studio, I guess, for like movies and TV. Because
Right, a production studio.
right, two of the things being rumored right now are an Uncharted film is apparently in advanced development, whatever that type of wording means. And then they also just closed the deal to make a Twisted Metal TV series, if you remember that good old game where you drive around in cars blowing each other up.
Yeah, I don't know how they can make that a TV series. Are they going to put people in these?
Yeah,
cars,
100%.
or is it going to be like that horror movie back from the 80s where all the semi-trucks took over?
Oh, good. I hope not. What I'm thinking is like each car is going to be unique, but it'll also have a driver that goes with it.
Right. And then it's a story about that.
Right, and that's where you get someone like, I think his name was Sweet Tooth. Was that the ice cream truck?
Yeah, the ice
So
cream
like,
truck.
I want the
Yep,
driver of that to be like just a weird sadistic clown, like It style, like just to be
Yeah.
a super weirdo. And I think each car has a personality, and you can mirror that personality with its driver. So it could actually be
Right.
really cool, and give it an R rating, make it weird and gory and dark. And
Kind of a
But s-
death race
Oh,
type
Yeah, I was
deal.
going to
all
say, see,
over
with,
it.
with Twisted Metal, is it not going to just basically be a series that is Death Race?
Yeah, it's death
Sure,
race.
that's
the
what
only
it's
thing
gonna
I could
be.
think of. I'm good with
fine.
that.
You're going to
though.
have elements of like Death Race mixed in with Mad Max and different
Yeah.
pieces like that.
yeah, I don't know.
Whatever it is, I'll check it out for at least 2 episodes.
I think the one thing to note though is that a lot of these projects are going to have be supported by PlayStation, obviously, and Sony. So
Right.
that means you might have more people in the actual video game industry consulting on these things, or just straight up developing them, which should make for a better product than someone who's really good at directing movies but maybe has no idea of what a video
Right.
game is or what happens in them. So having Sony doing this could be good, but I guess
And that's essentially what Sony said, in their press release, was saying, we've got everything we need in house, so why would we sell our license or our IP to a production company to make the movies when we're the best people to do
exactly.
it?
So hopefully some cool stuff coming out of the new PlayStation Productions studio.
Things
Yep.
they did mention were God of War
That
and
would be
Last of Us,
so amazing.
or two of the ones that they were putting as far as on their banner for their production
The
company.
thing-
So
I-
look for those in the works in the next couple of years, hopefully.
There's a film on Netflix just now. I don't know if it's on the American version. It's definitely on the UK version, called The Girl with All the Gifts.
I don't think so.
GIF or GIFT?
GIFT, gifts, as in something you
Okay.
give somebody.
Yeah.
And see if it's, I know.
I see. It'd be a completely different movie, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
that would be
Good.
awesome. Just throwing
Good
out
God.
bloody gifts left, right, and centre. And see if you take the character development out of it and listen to what the actual storyline is. It's basically about a post-apocalyptic world where there is spores that have been released into the environment that have turned normal human beings into these violent creatures that hunt people for a living. And the girl that's in the film has the blood and the chemical composition of her body to create the cure. And it's about whether or not the people who have the girl in their possession are willing to make the sacrifice to give her up to science to save the human race, which is very much the Last of Us type storyline.
Right.
So it's not got the same story. It's not got Joel and Ellie and things like that in it. But the actual subplot of the program is almost identical to The Last of
Right.
Us.
Somebody was playing the game while writing the script.
Exactly.
basically. Whether they copied it or just had, similar thoughts.
Inspired by.
Exactly.
Right.
All right. Well, let's stick with gaming and movies. What's up next, Chocolate?
So, Knights of the Old Republic movie? Maybe?
It's been confirmed.
Wow.
The movie?
The script is being written by Leda I'm not going to do it. Does anybody know this person?
Colagridis?
Yeah, there you go. She is famous for other titles such as Avatar and Shutter Island. So they've got some good juice behind this one, and it kind of looks like it's going to be one of the fill-in movies because they've got stuff for till 2026, I believe, for the Star Wars universe.
Out ridiculous amounts, I think.
So this will be one of those, the big one will be either in the summertime or at Christmas. This will be an opposite year drop, I
must admit, based on who the script is being written by, if it looks as nice as Avatar and has the same not the plot, but if it has the same writing as
quality
Shutter
of
Island,
writing,
that's box office #1, taking down Avengers for quality of film.
I think that's fair. I mean, if anything's going to take down Marvel, it's going to be Star Wars. So
yeah, that's the only thing that's close.
And that's just going back to PlayStation real quick. That is basically their #1 incentive of why they're doing this is because they want a piece of that Marvel universe. Basically, they see all that money being made from the last 10 years of them, that roadmap, and they want a piece of that.
The Sony cinematic universe.
Yeah,
exactly.
I know we haven't thrown it into the news stories there, but like I was saying just before the podcast that went live, what's your thoughts on the Square Enix Avengers thing? I know we've not heard anything about that for quite a while, but as I was saying before this podcast, to do with E3, do you think that could be something that's close or something that's along the line?
I assumed it was canceled.
I would say if they're gonna show something at E3, it'll be a teaser trailer and it'll be a new console release type title.
Yeah. Do you see gameplay though?
No, not even close.
Doubtful. It'll all be cutscenes and it'll look so cool.
Isn't that crazy? That was literally announced like 4 or 5 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah,
or am I crazy?
I remember seeing that and thinking,
that's what they do with games.
Oh my
now,
god,
though.
this is going to be
announce
amazing.
them and they go away for 5 years.
But the thing is,
and come back when you think they're dead.
If you think of a superhero game, with the exception of the Arkham series, there's never been a superhero game that's been that successful. Spider-Man, recently has been good.
Yeah, Spider-Man was
and that's been fantastic. But apart from that, there's not really been a successful superhero game.
Right. Other than that, you can think of Marvel Ultimate Alliance,
which was great. But
that game, it was all right.
I mean, visually, it was nothing special. It was a top-down type game.
No.
It had quite a good.
Even the gameplay wasn't great. It
had a good wee storyline behind it, but nothing. It wasn't setting the world on fire. Square Enix picking up. I mean, obviously, as soon as you think Square Enix and story, you think Final Fantasy. If the people behind Final Fantasy can make an Avengers game, wow.
Right.
That's
because they got story nailed.
Yeah, that's got to be fantastic.
Yeah, I'll keep my fingers crossed, but not my hopes so high. I don't know.
I'm gonna hope that it's not canon with the Marvel universe, so that they can just do whatever the hell they want.
The thing is, though, there's so many different canons in the Marvel universe.
Thanks a lot. Time travel.
Yeah, there's no one fixed storyline that they have to apply by. They can literally go wherever they want, essentially.
Because people are coming from alternate dimensions all the time, so
exactly.
This could easily just be an alternate dimension.
I just watched Spider-Verse. There's like 7 Spider-Mans.
Apparently that's coming to Netflix as well.
Yes, it's going to be.
That's a great movie.
I am so desperate. I'm desperate for that to come to Netflix because that looks amazing.
You'll love it. All right, what's up next, Chocolate?
We've got George R.R. Martin consulted on a Japanese video game. Was that before or after he butchered season?
He didn't butcher Chocolate. Do not make me come down to Oakham.
He sold out.
Here we go.
Okay. Anyway, let's go on with the news story and not rile up Chaotic anymore.
So this whole thing just came about where he was asked about what he's doing, what is he working on, blah, 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 blah. He's working on books, he's consulting on movies. But one little tidbit that he threw in there is that he was recently in Japan consulting on a video game that could potentially be from Software. Those are the Dark Souls
creators.
Yep. On an RPG. He obviously didn't say more about it and probably wasn't even supposed to mention that he was consulting on this game. But what do we think that George R.R. Martin could have potentially been doing or what type of game is he consulting on? I guess an RPG sticks out in my head. I don't think by any means this is a Game of Thrones thing.
Two little side points.
No, I'd say it's more Skyrim.
Yeah.
Dragonbound.
Two little side points.
One of those type games.
On that story there is one, just for anybody who's interested. Did you see the story that Winds of Winter will be released by July 2020?
But didn't he say he was going to do that? Or
Yeah,
he
he
was
did
gonna
announce that.
Yeah,
put
no,
himself
he
in
announced.
jail or something?
No, he announced that the latest that book will be out is 2020 in July. That it will not go later than that. His
Weird. What
words.
a perfect time to put out an announcement like that.
Yeah,
right
after
this
his story,
HBO thing.
Everybody's
they've
angry
murdered
with the
it.
way it ended.
And also, do you think that a game designed by George R.R. Martin to do with Japanese video games, how amazing would it be if he consulted on something like a Dynasty Warriors?
Yeah, I mean, that could be pretty much anything he touches that's going to be any type of
Any sort of
something
grand
not
battle
modern.
type idea.
Yeah.
Right. As long as it's got the lore and all that of, what he does in his wheelhouse, I don't see how it could go wrong.
Story will be amazing.
Yeah, if he's had input in the story, it'll be spectacular.
Yep. Agreed.
Right, because his character development is, second to none.
Yeah, like he's got the ability that he's got to build up a full arc of where a character's been from and is going to is amazing.
Woohoo! You do you, George. Hopefully.
Just finish
Just
one
finish
project,
the
bro.
book.
Come on.
for
No, he's
Christ's
going to
sake.
slowly do a little bit of everything, and you'll have everything you want in like 2030.
In that blurb, he said he's working on 7 projects with HBO alone.
Yeah, because that's what I was going to say. He as much as he's writing the next book, he's the one that's in charge of Blood Moon, which is going to be the prequel to Game of Thrones that's out just now. He's the one that's actually doing the writing for it. It's not David Benioff and the other
Right,
twat
yeah.
who messed
Those
up.
guys are working on Star Wars now.
Oh, joys for that franchise.
Just ruin all my favorite things, you jerks.
In fairness, though, they've...
Everybody loved them for 5 years.
Yeah.
But, alright, moving on. Last 2 headlines.
Oh, I'll mute myself. Outer Wilds released date May 30th.
You guys know much about this game?
I played it
No.
at PAX.
Oh, nice.
I hate you so much for this game.
I didn't get through the tutorial because they cut me off and told me I was taking too long.
Sorry. Get good, kid. Somebody else
Yeah,
needs to play.
I mean, I told this story, I think, on the PAX,
PAX
one, but it
episode,
was
right?
like,
Yeah.
you started the demo, you had 2 options. It was like, go left, and you can go straight into your spaceship and take off, or go right and do the tutorial. I was like, all right, cool, I'm going to get the full experience. I went right, and then 20 minutes later, the guy was like, all right, you need to hop off. And I was like, I just got in my spaceship, sir. I'm about to take off. He's like, we got a lot of people behind you. Get out of here. Okay. So I'm
Tragic.
excited for this game just because I can finally see what happens once I get in the spaceship.
Are you going to play the tutorial
And
again?
it's,
No, not a chance.
from what I got from it, it's another space exploration type game.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah, and so it's along the lines of what is that game? No Man's Sky.
A lot more heavily story-based, or at least lore-based, I would say.
Okay. So it'll be on Game Pass day and date. So it's worth a shot to even the things I do with Game Pass is the way I do it is I go to that game and then I see who's streaming it and I'll watch it for 10 to 20 minutes and see if it's worth me downloading. It's really a great thing having Mixer and Game Pass all at your fingertips.
I was gonna say that's actually
right there at Xbox.
That's actually a really good idea, almost like instead of obviously having to put yourself through that torture of a poor game, and watching it online is not a bad idea.
Hey man, you stick with me, I'll shortcut your way through life.
And then that was for Outer Wilds. Then the other one that we got a release date for was Man of Medan. This is the game from Supermassive. They're the guys that did Until Dawn. And the release date for that is going to be August 30th with a price tag of $29.99, which is a fair price. Until Dawn, I think I could have
Yeah.
bought for $29.99 and been like, okay, that made sense. Even paying $60, I still loved every second of it. But $29.99 for this. This is that story-based horror game from those guys.
And And so I did a short reading on it. It basically, you're a dive crew, and you're going to try to either bring up the whole ship or just kind of explore an old World War II ship that was sunk, and bad stuff happens.
It sure does.
Yeah.
When I was demoing this at PAX, Waterloo came up behind me and like pushed my shoulders. He was standing behind the rope. I think I had an accident while I was at Supermassive's demo
hilarious.
booth. Sorry, guys.
I must admit, if it's anywhere close to as good as Until Dawn, this will be a fantastic game.
Especially
now
at
that it's on all
$30.
platforms. Yeah,
You have a game share partner. It's $15. It's
yeah,
crazy.
It's potentially going to be a fantastic game for the fact that it's only $30 and they've not made the same mistake as Until Dawn, and they've released it on every platform.
Right. And the only real question I have is why would they not just wait a couple more months and release this at Halloween? It makes so much
Because
so
their
much
budget
sense.
goes
But
till
does it have-
August.
Does it have a prototypical Halloween feel to it though? If you're a dive crew out in the ocean,
Yeah, probably not.
that's
No,
the
it's
whole
just
thing I
eerie.
would say with that.
That's fair.
Like
Fine.
at least with Until Dawn, where they were in like secluded in the mountains in this little lodge, they've got like a horror aspect. This is where you're out at sea. This is more Jaws than it is Halloween.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Well, I'm hoping one of you guys on the streams team picks this up and streams it, because I'd love
That
to
would
watch
be-
it and just hit the B button when I don't, gets too much for me.
I will happily volunteer for that, miss.
Like
Perfect.
such a tough thing to volunteer for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll play a game for you. That's fine.
If it's supplied by the Cross Atlantic Gaming team, then I'm all game for it.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Free
Not sure if
games,
it's in
you
the
say?
budget.
Free game
Yeah, I don't know about that budget.
But I hear the rewards program's brilliant. Anyway, moving swiftly on.
All right, and then this last one, E3 is June 11th.
Woo!
Didn't we?
Cannot wait.
Don't even know what to expect.
Borderlands.
That's true.
Yep.
But really, PlayStation's not there. Microsoft's
cares?
really not there because they're going from across the street again, right?
Yep, as always.
They'll be in their studio to save money, or in their theater.
All I want is for them to come out and say, yeah, we are releasing a new Xbox, and yeah, you know all those specs that you've seen online for the PS5? Yeah, we blow them out the water. Thanks very much. Cool story. Bye.
Drop the mic. Here's
Exactly.
some games.
Here's the game.
I'm hoping that Sony has just as good of a console and we can all be happy together and play games together.
Don't
Oh.
lie risky. Don't.
And we haven't talked about it yet, but I'd like to get some sort of E3 viewing party or special podcasts, to review them.
That would be
So,
awesome.
Look forward to those.
I've just actually had a message from one of the members of the community. He's sent me a message elsewhere saying, how much do you think we'll see of Cyberpunk at the next
Right.
one? That and
It'd be
Dying
nice to see a 3 or 4 minute long trailer with some gameplay and
That
stuff.
and Dying Light 2, how much do you think we'll see of them?
Dying Light's been so quiet, so I'm assuming you'll get something from
That
Right.
that game is honestly between that and what's the other one? Outer Worlds.
them. Outer
No.
Worlds, yeah.
Yeah, between that, Cyberpunk, and Borderlands. Oh my god.
Outer Worlds, not to be confused with Outer Wilds. I wonder how many extra downloads
Right.
Outer Wilds
Yeah.
gets May 30th
Yeah.
because of the
Yeah,
name.
Outer Worlds.
On
That's
Game
the game
Pass,
by
they're like,
people
"Wait,
that
this
thought
is
the
out
dates-"
already?
No, it's not. Yeah, we FYI, risky, just on the show notes, you've got Outer Worlds May 30th. Just saying.
Oh, well,
It-
no, I definitely did not write that.
Cool. Well, it's definitely
wasn't
there
around.
under now in Game Pass. Just throwing it because I read that there and went, "Oh my god! I didn't realize it was out so quick. Holy crap!"
Download.
Oh boy, awesome. Yeah, we'll definitely be doing we'll probably do a pre-E3 show, which will be predictions, a live viewing
Okay.
party through either I think Discord chat
they'll-
probably isn't a bad place to have it.
The live viewing
Right.
party would be awesome. Having that as like a live show would be really cool.
have the voice channel live in Mixer, and then also just dedicate an E3 channel to Mixer.
Exactly.
Or to yeah, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that, definitely for sure.
To Discord.
Well, I was gonna say we'll be touching on that soon. We really don't have a lot of time to touch on that, so expect more
No,
details
got like a week and a
about
half.
our E3 plans next week. So we got homework
Oh
to do.
yeah.
You betcha.
I think that's everything for the news, but new games, some PSAs. Moose, take it away.
Yeah, it's a kind of a weird week for game releases. Some PSVR stuff and some Japanese Switch games.
My two favorite things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I brought this one up just for risky. It's Lepsis and Labyrinth. It's a dungeon crawler with totem-like elements. So basically, you can stack your characters on top of each other and utilize all of their elements or attacks at the same time. Looks pretty cool. Looks like it could possibly give you a seizure as well.
Perfect.
Yeah, lots of shiny things and flashes going on the screen.
Ooh, shiny.
This one is specifically just for Ryan. Cricket 19 will be out next week. PS4 and Xbox One. So, I know where he'll be for the next 2 to 3 months.
Oh, no.
And then, I don't know if you guys played the first layers.
You are one of the poshest people.
What'd you say, Kyle?
He doesn't play, he watches.
I was saying, Chocolate says he doesn't like cricket. I was like, that's basically the poshest sport you can get. He should be all over that.
No.
That's a fair point.
I think polo, right? With the ponies.
Oh, yeah.
The ponies, yes. You know, having a stable full is quite expensive at times.
Wait a minute, didn't Jeeves
He's got
have
a
a
polo
bad
field
accident
in
on
his
the
backyard.
horse, though, so.
Jeeves knew what he did wrong.
Yeah.
So anyway, keep on going.
All right.
Keep on going.
I don't know if you guys played the first Layers of Fear. I did not, but the second one will be out this week. Layers of Fear 2 on PS4 and Xbox One. Things coming to Game
I
Pass.
played some of it. It was in Game Pass, I think.
Nice. Actually, yeah, it's going to leave Game Pass on the 31st, but that's coming up. Spoilers. But new in Game Pass either this previous week since we recorded or coming up this following week. Metal Gear Survive, I believe, dropped on Tuesday last week. Banner Saga, the first one, comes in this week, as well as Void Bastards on May 29th and Outer Wilds on May 30th. And then if you love you some Banner Saga, next week they'll be dropping the next one. So Banner Saga 2 will be out on June 6th. Things that will be leaving Game Pass on the 31st. So if you want to play any of these titles, your time is running out. If you want to do it for just your subscription fee. D4, Dark Dreams Don't Die. Devil May Cry, the definitive edition. Night Squad, Jump Jet Rex. Laser League, which I believe was a Games with Gold game about a year ago. Layers of Fear, which the second one will drop about the time this one gets pulled. Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. Super Mega Baseball Extra Innings, which I believe we got with Games with Gold also. Super Time Force. Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga, which if you haven't played any of that, it's pretty fun. It's hilarious. And then Speak of the Devil, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. So if you guys want to see what this new movie that they're hinting about could potentially be about, go ahead and check that game out. But you've only got a limited amount of days left. And that's about it. That's what we got for games out this week and Game Pass news.
All right. Chocolate, we got one more set of giveaways for our live listeners and folks in Discord.
We do indeed.
Do it. Do the thing.
I'm giving a big one away. Right. Who is in to Sea of Thieves?
I am. Can I have
me. We can't win, can we?
You can't win. Right. This may be US only, but we're dropping it now, and we're dropping it hot. Boom.
I'm going to need to find my cousin Elkenstein to join the Discord.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Grab that Sea of Thieves figurehead, and we are dropping in our Discord 1 month of Xbox Live.
Ooh, we better get on that quick.
Get on it. Quick. Oh, hang on. There we go. And just because I am a horrible person, I'm not dropping it in the same channel. So.
Ooh, go find it.
Yep, go fetch.
Ooh, that was sneaky, Chocolate.
It was.
As chaotic, copies and pastes it into his.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
I got that one. Done.
Okay, and before we move on to the mailbag, we did have a couple more PSAs. There's a back compat sale going on right now until May 27th, which is tomorrow. So anyone in chat right now, go check that sale out. I think there's also an ID Xbox sale maybe currently going on or ending.
So. I think it's the
There's
same
a bunch
time.
of stuff on sale right now.
Okay.
Holiday weekend.
The only reason I wanted to the only reason I mentioned about the back and pat sale is like some of the games that are on the back and pat sale are fantastic. One of them has to be just when we're talking about co-op games like the Division and things like that. One of the best back and pat games that are on just now is Army of Two. So I was like, that's in the game as well.
God, that game was great in the day.
The second one wasn't as good, but the first one was. Honestly, if it was just you and one of your mates, Army of Two is possibly one of the best games. And the way that they've got like the aggro system set up, so that one can take the heat while the other one's doing the objective and things like that. Such an underrated game, and like the customization with how your character looks and things like that. Oh, if you haven't ever
Wasn't
played,
that the first time they had the drag mechanic too? So like if your buddy was down, you could go out and drag him back behind cover.
yeah, like the cover
kill him.
system in Army of Two was fantastic.
Good game.
All right, and then the other thing that we missed at the top of the show was the community play that was supposed to happen this past Friday. That didn't end up happening. We had a bunch of birthdays going on. We had people going to live up in the woods and work and a whole bunch of different things going
Holiday
on.
weekend.
Yeah, it's a holiday weekend in the States. And for...
In the UK.
That's in the UK as well.
Yeah, it's a bank holiday, whatever that means. So we're moving it to next weekend. I don't think we've nailed down dates yet. There'll probably be a poll that will go up in the Discord at some point. Just check under the community play tab in Discord. That's where we're going to vote on what date the game should be, unless something changes. It's going to be Battlefront 2. So if you're interested in playing some Battlefront 2, hop into Discord. We'll also, once we have the time set, we'll put something out on Twitter. So
LFG.
either way, and there'll be an LFG that should go live on Tuesday, I think, is what Sweeney said last time.
Yeah, Sweeney
I think
usually
that's what
puts
he's been
them up on
doing.
Tuesday.
So do yourself a favor and come hang out with us during the next community play. Whew. All right. An hour and 40, just one more segment to go, and that segment is the mailbag.
You've got mail.
All right. So, mailbag. We only have a few questions, which is okay because we're trying to get you guys out of here so you can continue to enjoy the rest of your day. This first one comes in from Lidonian. Is there a game that was so bad that you wish you never played it? Whew. Chaotic, you want to start?
Gunman Clive.
All right.
No, I'm just playing. Go ahead, Chaotic.
Possibly quite a controversial one. I would say not so much bad, but just how much the developers didn't pay any attention to what the community actually wanted. And I'd throw out there and say Anthem.
Wow.
They hightailed out of that game and just went, you know what, this is what it is. If you're not happy with it, well, you've already given us our $60.
I think they had a great base. They have a great base.
They
just need
do.
more content.
It's fantastic, but when a month and a half after the Division 2 was coming out, you put out a subpar game with no real clear idea of where you're heading with that game.
Yeah.
What were you expecting?
There's no end game, and they still haven't done the
raids, the
world
cataclysm
events or whatever.
Yeah,
it
the
is.
cataclysm. It's like, honestly, like the best way that I could describe it is, you know, it's like a weird one. They basically like said to you, you know what, we've taken your $60. Have fun with what we've given you because we really don't care what you think about it.
That's a rough one, and that's a rough one that is so recent that it still hurts. The amount of people that was
that's
like,
the problem.
Get this, and then they bought it, and then they're like, I don't get it. And you're like, okay, well.
It's like, without being too like niche, the people who are in our Discord will obviously know what to talk about. Like, see the emoji we have set up in Discord with the aubergine. That's basically what they've said to us. And it's like, there you go, boom. Take that, and if you're not happy with it, well, we've already got your money, so deal with it.
God, that's so rough.
I know, and I don't want to be as down on the game as it was, but for the fact that they had another AAA title coming out a month after they released, or a month and a half after, who had a very clear roadmap of what they wanted to do. It was like Fallout 76. All the ideas that they had that could have been a great game, and they basically just half effort put into it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I have one. It's not going to be popular, but it's that Mutant Zero game.
Oh,
I could have never played that and been fine.
so
that
bad that
not-
you wish you never played it?
Is that
Yeah,
not good?
it was-
I thought that looked like
I
it
think
was...
other people enjoy it, but I just don't enjoy the random. I'm right in front of your face, and I shot you, and it didn't kill you. It didn't do anything to you, and it alerted everybody else. Now you're dead. Start over.
But is that not very much like XCOM, where like XCOM you've got a
Yeah.
95% chance of hitting somebody and miss?
Right. Yeah, I don't play XCOM either.
Fair one.
Yeah, if you don't like XCOM, there's no way you were going to like that game.
Nope. So it's not a bad game, but for me it was.
All right, Chocolate, how about you?
For me, I'm really sorry to say, Fallout 76.
Chocolate, why would you do that to me?
I know.
Why would you go there?
You made it mad.
Seriously, man.
I bought the game, I played a bit of it, and for the money I spent, for the time I put into it, it was unfortunately the biggest waste of time. Now,
Like,
I'm yet to go back to it.
well,
and
this is what I was about to say.
I should go back to it.
They have now put out a very expansive roadmap of what they plan for Appalachia and how they see the game progressing from original to what it's now going to be. So they, at least, unlike Anthem, they have an idea of where they want to end up. How they implement it is a different story, but they at least have an idea of what they want to do.
Well, that's good.
Hasn't that game been a vast improvement since release?
Exactly, that's what I mean. They have an idea of what they want to do. They've improved the game mechanics. They've improved the matchmaking. They've improved, like, it's not so much raids, but you know how you got those
The encounters with other...
Yeah, they've improved
Yeah.
all of that. They've improved how the base dynamic works and things like that. They've added storyline missions, and there's still no NPCs, but they've done a lot more to add to the base element of the game.
Sounds like it's time for me to pick it up in the summer sale for $10.
Oh, you'll probably pick it up for less, I would imagine.
Exactly.
It's
I would-
next
like,
to nothing, I believe.
I would be surprised that when the summer sale comes out for Xbox, wherever that's due to hit, if they don't do like a Fallout 4 bundle that includes Fallout 76.
Yeah, throw it on top.
Yeah, something along those lines.
All right, and for me, I have two that kind of stick out, and I don't even know why, but Agents of Mayhem, I don't know if you guys played that.
It's a tricky one because did you really have that high expectations of
I
it
guess
going in?
not, but I...
So
Is
that's
that a
the
Cliffy
tricky
B
one.
game, wasn't it?
Oh
Wasn't
my
that one of
god,
the
that's not
Cliffy
that
B
Cliffy
games?
B game. But
Oh, okay.
that game was also... that game could have been good. It was weird because it came out in that, like, hero shooter genre
Right.
where Overwatch was and Paladins and just... That
But
game
didn't it
didn't
focus
stand
on
a
like
chance.
verticality as opposed to
There was so much of
anything
it, yeah.
else?
Oh, very
Yeah.
gravity based. No, Agents of Mayhem was the weird spin-off that the Saints Row people made. So it's like
Okay.
everything was still purple. I
Yeah.
just remember every game mechanic and everything I was doing. The story wasn't anything. The gameplay wasn't that fun. It's just, I don't know. It wasn't good. So that one for me. And then Homefront: The Revolution was kind of a letdown for me because the idea of Homefront Revolution, I think, is awesome.
Right.
And when you get that
What's it, an
excited,
invasion in California, right?
yeah, I think that is where that one took place.
Yeah. I just see the Golden Gate Bridge for some reason.
I remember I did the beta, and then I think it was they did an open beta and a beta, and even when the game went down to like $15, I still couldn't pull the trigger because of how bad of an experience I had had leading up to that game. So that wasn't great.
Let's talk about happy stuff.
Yeah, well, speaking of happy stuff, throwing in a little side question in the mailbag because I only just read it just now though. Apparently, the developers behind Dead Island 2 have said the game is very much still alive and it will be something that they're looking to release. How much does that pique your curiosity?
For what game? I totally just missed that, sorry.
Dead Island 2. I don't know if did you ever see the trailer for Dead Island 2 where it was
On the
sports
beaches, right? Or no?
Yeah, it was the sports fanatic going out a jog while all this pandemonium that was happening around them with his headphones on.
Yeah, on like the beaches of Santa Monica or something in LA. Yeah, okay.
So they've said, I think it's THQ Nordic have said that the game is still very much like, it's still very much a project that they're working on. Whether or not it actually comes onto it, it's a bit strange. But how much, if that was still something that was looking at, does the Dead Island games or the Dead Rising games, for example, pique your curiosity?
I mean, I'm fine. I'm a person that does not get sick of or zombies or that genre at all. So I'd definitely be down for something like that.
I think it'll be good as long as they have good mechanics to it and a nice, which it seemed like they did, good humour to it. I'd be up.
Oh
for
yeah,
it.
the Dead Rising games and things like that have always had good like comedy aspects to it, but it's just
Right.
it was the whole
That's what pushed the game, was the comedy, right?
the first one that annoyed me is, see, the whole like time, like you have to have an injection of that anti-zombie,
Oh yeah, zombies.
whatever it is, within a X amount of time. That annoyed me, but the actual humour and the storyline behind like the Dead Rising games was fantastic.
Yeah, I think Dead Rising.
Ryan in chat's got a pretty good one too, talking about the Walking Dead game that was never to be, only came out on PC.
Oh, boy.
Was
And
that-
they just basically abandoned that project.
Was that the Overkill one, or was that the other one?
Overkill's The Walking Dead. Exactly.
Yeah, when you put out
Yeah.
these stupid CG trailers that hype
Right.
you up so much, and then the actual final product comes out and it just doesn't touch, like, it doesn't even come close to the thing you built up in your head. I don't know if that's our fault or theirs. Definitely more theirs.
Yeah, it's got to be false advertising, right?
Wow, that's definitely a good one. Speaking of zombies, did any of you play Umbrella Corps, that weird Resident Evil like multiplayer game that came out a couple years ago?
No, I didn't realise there was a multiplayer one.
Uh,
Although, speaking on the Umbrella Corps, did you see the? I can't remember what it was. I'll speak amongst yourselves while I Google it. There was actually a pharmaceutical company that launched a product, but their symbol for the company was not the same colour as the Umbrella Corporation, but the same design, where it had three spokes of it was one colour and the rest of it was white. It looked exactly like the Umbrella
no,
Corporation.
pass. Never buy
I was
anything
like-
there.
I'm guessing you haven't played much gaming, because if you picked that symbol knowing full well about the Umbrella Corporation, you're in for a bad day.
Exactly.
Yeah. They don't have an underground lab, right?
Well, it was in Japan, so quite possibly.
Oh boy. Here we go.
All right, this next one comes in from Free Radical. A couple questions that center around why I play XYZ game. What makes you want to play a first-person shooter? What kind of level design and AI challenge do you need to make your experience enjoyable? Anyone want to start?
I must
Sure.
admit, I hate first-person shooters.
Okay.
Like the whole reason I haven't got onto Blackout is because it's solely first person. Had you got an option to have that in third person, I think it would have been by far and away the best battle royale. But because it's only in first person, it's ruined the experience for me.
That's fair. Is that so? That's kind of across the board for you. So, like, are you nervous about Cyberpunk then?
See, the thing is though, is that going to be an out and out first person shooter?
Except for when you're
Or
in a
is it-
car, I think it looks
shooting's
like
just going to be
Yeah.
an element, right?
But is it going to be more like story based than it is?
I mean, even if it's more story based, I'm assuming when you're having these conversations with people, you're still in first person talking to them, because it's
Right.
not going to take you out of game to have these conversations.
Granted.
So
Just
I don't know.
Harping back to the previous subject, the company is called Medcare from Vietnam. Google it and just see what their symbol is, and then have fun with that.
Great.
Anyway, so back to the first person shooter. I think the thing is, that whole game, I can play games in first person shooter, but as long as the core aspect of the game isn't just first person shooter aspect, the Cyberpunk's still going to be an RPG with first person shooter elements.
Yeah, I guess I was speaking more to the camera perspective of it,
Oh,
of
yes.
it just
Well, yeah.
being first person in general. I didn't know if first person is just something you don't enjoy in general, or is it just the first person shooters, like the shooting part is the part you
Probably-
don't like while you're in first
Yeah,
person.
the shooting part, because like, see this whole like idea of like quick scope and no scope and things like that people can do in first person shooters. It ruins the game for me. I don't think something like a Cyberpunk, as much as it's going to be first person, it's not going to be that type of first person shooter.
Yeah, I agree.
So that
So,
is
I think-
what I mean. So not so much like just the camera angle of only getting to see the gun. I don't mind games like that, but the first person shooter mechanic is what I don't like.
Okay, so I'm definitely an FPS guy. I think I've purchased just about every first-person shooter that's come out in the last 10 years. And the ones that I keep coming back to are the ones that have modern gunplay, modern weapons, and some sort of system within the game that you can rank up and unlock things. So, i.e., Black Ops and Titanfall. That's what I look for in first-person shooters.
Okay, so just to clarify, he's wondering what makes you want to, or what makes you that type of player, I guess. Like, why
Oh,
Why
I
do
see.
you prefer to
I
play
see.
in first
I
person
guess I misconstrued
rather
it.
than third person?
Yeah, I think that's what I've had.
I gotcha.
So, I mean, for me, not doing third person in shooters and stuff, I hate when people, like, just sit at a corner and they just third person you. Like, they pretty much just wait and wait and wait until you're coming up on them, and then pop out and kill you. And they've seen you the whole entire time. You don't get to see them until you have that last couple, half a second or two to try to gun them down. But they can literally watch you come all the way towards them, then you can pop out around the corner. Boom. That's always put me off from competitive games, at least like that. Unless there's a way with something like a sensor dart or radar or some way that I can maybe coax you out of a spot, which I guess you could do with grenades or something like that. But then you're just kind of wasting grenades, whipping them at the back of buildings because you think somebody might be just sitting around that corner waiting for you. So as
Give
far
away
as
your position.
yeah, exactly. So competitive games, I definitely go first person, and I think it's because I don't like that weird, cheap aspect. No offense to PUBG players, but that kind of stuff always bugged me about the game, where it's people could just be camping
Fortnite,
corners,
same
and I would
thing.
never ever see them. They could watch me the whole entire way. That's what puts me off from it. How about you, Chocolate?
Me, I prefer. I think I prefer third person, but it all depends what the game is and how it plays. So, as you were saying with the competitive kind of multiplayer aspect of it, that bit where they can peek around the corner without actually peeking and just spinning the camera around, that infuriates me. However, I'd be the type of person to probably try and exploit that as well. So,
Right.
but I do think I do like the way games have over the shoulder. I do like to see what my character's wearing,
yeah,
even
I
though
think
you can
RP
only get what the backside of them as such.
Yeah, and I think RPGs are games like that. I like seeing, like, The Witcher. I wouldn't want to play in first person, or like Grand Theft Auto. People were so excited for this first person mode, and nothing about that sounded good to me at all.
No.
It's,
I hate driving cars in first person.
Oh, that too. That's the
Oh,
worst.
that drives me up the wall.
But there's some people that can only do it that way.
They live by
I
that.
don't get it. Yeah.
Some people who play like the Formula One games can only play the game if they can see like the front spoiler of the car,
Right.
and that's how they have to play the game. No way could I play it like that. I need to play it from like behind the whole car,
as
so I
far
can see
back
where
as
it's
you'll
going.
let me get is where
Exactly,
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
but you
put
I'm
can't
the
judge
exact
the
same.
distance though, can you? Either side, like I can't.
But apparently that's how you're meant to play those games. But
it. Yeah,
I just
just
no,
like you
no
drive
way.
a car.
Yeah, there's no way could I play the game like that. I could drive it in real life, but
Right.
not playing a game.
I guess if you have one of those sim setups, it'd be quite a bit easier too.
Yeah, with the wheel and
Right.
the pedals and things like that. So.
Yep.
All right. Oh, and then the question about AI. I would just say quickly, how do you like your games? Do you like them on the default setting where the AI kind of challenges you? You like them super hard, or do you like story mode where they're not even a part of the game?
The first time I ran through Witcher, I played it on like I think there was the very basic level, which was solely like just story, and most characters are like one hit kill, and that was you on to the next sort of area. I think I played at the level above it where it was just like the sort of median type level where it wasn't too easy, wasn't too hard, but you just sort
Right.
of ploughed through it. After I've played the game once, so that's what I was saying before the podcast about jumping back into New Game Plus on God of War. Once I've completed the game and got the full experience of the story, that's where I then like to crank up the difficulty and see how well I can play the game. So like on Witcher, for example, I've played it with Blood. I can't remember what it's called, Blood and something, and it's the hardest difficulty, where it's basically if somebody hits you, that's you gone. It's almost death.
It's like Dark Souls at that point.
Yeah, almost Dark Souls type idea. You need to learn to like parry, roll out the way, use your potions and your Witcher abilities to survive just a general encounter. Never mind a boss fight or a creature fight, just general soldiers. So after playing through it once to experience the full extent of the storyline, that's when cranking it up becomes more appealing to me.
Okay. I kind of go default mode on most games because I try to maximize my gaming time, and I can't be asked to bang my head against something that's too hard for me to beat unless that's why I had such a hard time with The Messenger, because some of those boss fights and some of those platforming levels you are not going to get through on your first 5 attempts, let alone, the first attempt. So you've got to bring your patience and be on your A game. But like I said, I like to play everything on default mode, just kind of get the experience of the game, what the developers, that's also the default mode is kind of where they want you to be. It's where the game was designed for you to play at. So that's kind of where I play it. And I'd love to play games more than once, but I've got such a huge backlog and a small amount of time to play that at this point in my life, that's not a thing that I can do. So I just play everything on, not easy, but, whatever it is, medium, like you said, and one-time playthrough for the most part, other than the only game that I think in the last 10 years I played through the campaign more than once was Titanfall 2, and that's A, because the campaign is so awesome, and B, because it's about 8 hours long.
Well worth a second playthrough. Third, fourth.
Absolutely. Third, fourth, yeah.
Yeah. Chocolate, how about you?
Yeah, I'm kind of like in Moose. The amount of time I've got to game, I've got to maximise as much as I can get. So it's normal. I hardly ever drop down to easy.
I love how we've went from min-maxing and Division to talking about min-maxing gaming time.
Just everything. Yeah, that's my life, basically.
You've just applied min-max across your full gaming scenario.
I apply it to every part of my life that I can.
You need to, yeah.
The way to do it. It's the way to move forward. Yeah.
For me, it's generally middle of the road. The only game I can think of was Wildlands. Is the only game I'm playing on like the hardest difficulty, and I think that's mostly just because if I shoot at someone, I want them to die. If I shoot you in the head, you need to drop. But also, if you shoot me in the head, I want to die. Just in that game, though, for some reason.
On Wildlands Risky, are you playing it on Ghost Mode or just the hardest difficulty?
Just the hardest difficulty, because Ghost Mode wasn't around when the game
one
first
life,
came out.
Basically?
Ghost Mode is basically you could be up till the point of El Sueño and die, and you're right back at the start of the game.
Oh, so they just turned it into a roguelike.
Yeah, honestly.
Wow. And that's like 50 or 60 hours of gameplay, isn't it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I would be furious.
They've got a not bad system because, like, say you get downed, if your partner revives you, you're all good.
Right.
Depending on who's hosting the game, so say I was hosting the game, Moose, and you jumped in. If you went down, you could still jump back into the game exactly where I was.
Oh, just quit out.
But you'd be level 1.
Oh, I see.
So you would still have the progress, but you wouldn't have the character progress, if that makes sense.
You don't have any of your skill points or anything like that.
Exactly. Whereas if I went down while you were jumping into my game, we would both be back at the very start.
Right, because you're basically just assisting the person at that point.
Exactly.
I gotcha.
It makes it a much more tactical game. So, like when me and one of the community members, Gilgamesh, was jumping into it, he was very much a case of he was a spotter. So he was he was nowhere near the action zone. He was literally throwing up his drone, looking exactly where everybody was, getting positions for them, and then like hiding. Whereas then I would be the sniper or the aggressor, so I would try and take out as many bodies as I can, and then try and move into the base, so that if I died, it wouldn't really matter. I would just lose my progress, but he still had the game file running progressively.
So you were what they called dispensable.
Yes, I was an expendable asset.
There you go.
So that was, but the ghost mode in Wildlands is fantastic. It really is a good feature of the game.
And then they also have a mode that's kind of like Siege, right?
Hey.
It's that
Yeah.
PvP.
Ghost War.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
not played. Yeah, Ghost War. Yeah, I've not played much of the Ghost War mode.
So good.
It's pretty fun. Yeah.
Is it good? Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. It
See, I'm not a
reminds
big-
me, when I first started playing it, it reminded me of like the last battle in PUBG. Like if you're up against one last
Right.
team and you're you're the other last team. It's like that's how
Yeah.
tactical and intense some of those games could get. And
Might have to
Nice.
throw that on the community play vote list. When
yeah, so
How many people can jump in it? That'd
I
be
think it's
really
8,
interesting.
8 or 16, something like that.
I don't know.
If it was 16, that'd be fantastic.
But I want to say it's
What
4v4, right? I don't remember.
It's either 4v4 or 5. I think it's 4v4.
5v5.
But it's really funny that we brought this up because Dan Pod messaged me today saying that he's been playing that recently, and he's shouted out that would be a great community play game. But
Good shout, Dampod.
Great
we have
minds,
no
Dan.
idea.
Great minds.
We have no idea if there's custom matches.
Right.
But if there is, if you can get 8 people to do that, yeah, that would be a ton of fun.
Yeah, if
So
everybody's...
Sweeney, if you're listening to this right now, get onto this for not this community play, which is Battlefront, but next one, put it in the options because that would be fantastic.
Yep, I think so.
Yeah, I can get enough people to sway that vote, I'm sure. So
Yeah, I think like Moose was up for playing FIFA. I
Yeah.
think the American population have just literally pulled
what's a
FIFA,
FIFA?
down.
No, I played
Exactly.
I played FIFA all the way to like 17 or 18. And
Exactly. See,
I
Moose,
just-
you're game for it for a bit of pro clubs, but
Yeah. But I play rudimentary strategies, basically through ball and let your fastest guy go get it.
exactly that's how it should be played.
Oh, you don't just cross it from the outside of it? That's all I do.
I do
No,
that
that
too,
will
but
never
it's
work.
easier just to get it to your striker and let him run away from everybody else.
Play it to your attacking midfielder. Wait till you see the striker run
Yep.
behind the defenders.
When he
Chip
starts
it
his
over the
break,
top.
hit the
boom.
Y button. That's a goal.
Moose, you are a genius.
Oh my god.
Maybe I should play Sweeney.
No boy.
I think you would take him. I think that we are looking at Moose as the new FIFA king.
Uh-oh. Watch out now.
Moose FIFA. All right. Moving on. What is your favorite meal of the day? This one comes in from Arrow Ben. Chocolate, how about you? What's your favorite meal of the day? Breakfast?
Breakfast. Oh, all day long.
Chaotic?
Are you talking English breakfast, though? Because no.
Yeah,
Yeah, what
Ooh.
we're talking about here.
yeah, proper English breakfast, guys.
They have like
Come on.
blood
With the
sausage,
blood
or
sausage
blood
and-
pudding,
Ooh,
and
Whoa, wait,
lots
wait,
of
Get
black
out of
wait,
pudding.
here.
whoa.
And
See
baked
when you say
beans? Why do you have baked
basically
beans for
bread beans
breakfast?
on toast.
See when you
You need to
say
get your-
blood sausage, what are you meaning by this whole blood sausage? Are you meaning black pudding?
Black
Bl-
pudding.
Yes,
black
that's
pudding,
the
that's
same
what it
thing.
is.
It's
Okay.
coagulated blood. It's disgusting.
Call it what it is. It's not this bloody aluminum shit that you Americans have. It's
I thought it
aluminium.
was aluminium.
That's how it's meant to be pronounced. And how
You're
everybody
adding
in the
extra
world,
letters
apart
to the
from
word.
that small part of the world, pronounce it. Black pudding. I would say brunch.
Yeah. See,
I like a good brunch.
I'm with you guys on breakfast, but I rarely eat breakfast, so I usually end
Well,
up
I'm the
eating
same,
it
so
for
see
lunch
this,
or
like,
dinner. Yeah, I'm with you.
11 o'clock,
Yeah.
12, 1 o'clock time. So it's not quite lunch, but it's kind of breakfast.
Hey, if you're making bacon and eggs, I'll eat it any time of the day.
This is true. Although, you know, the really weird thing is, and this is going to sound really sad, it was like an after dinner thing. I knew somebody who, it could very well have been to do with their pregnancy. They got a bag of ice and they used to just like eating like
Ice
ice
chips.
cubes.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love eating ice. Oh, and
I
snow.
thought that was really weird. Like they just eating bags, like bags of ice, and they were just sitting eating it.
I've heard people that chew on ice are psychos, so careful there.
Well,
chocolate.
this is very true. Don't get me wrong. See, when you get crushed ice, like you won't
Right.
have it over there, but there's a company over here called Nando's, and
Cheeky
they basically
Nando's.
have.
Yeah,
Moose, you are on the ball tonight. With that in your FIFA, you are sorted.
I might as well
um,
just be an honorary UK member, right?
Exactly. You are well in line to win that T-shirt. They served crushed ice, and honestly, once you finish your drinking, you've still got about like 4 inches of crushed ice sitting at the bottom of your glass. It's fantastic.
And chocolate, like a 6-year-old, says, "I like eating snow."
As long as it's not yellow, we all good.
yellow and brown snow don't go.
So
No.
the only thing that I would say is that can't you have breakfast at dinner? Doesn't that make dinner
Yeah,
the
Of course
best?
you can.
Well,
No,
in
because you're
fairness,
eating
yeah.
breakfast.
Because what's quite popular, I don't know how it is in the posh neck of the woods that chocolate stays in. Something that's quite popular in Scotland for dinner time is a very, very Canadian type American dish, which is French toast, bacon, and maple syrup.
Yeah, it's just like a normal breakfast. Yep.
Which is a normal breakfast, but quite a lot of people in the UK have it for dinner as well.
They're smart
certainly,
people.
certainly in Scotland, but that could just be because we're quite fat in Scotland. quite a bit of obesity problems in the UK.
Yeah, not
I thought that was just because of the weather. It's always cloudy and rainy. Who wants to go outside?
Exactly. We've pretty much got the idea of if we're indoors, why do we not just eat?
Perfect.
That
Might
makes
as
more
well.
Sounds like
sense.
you guys would fit in America perfectly.
We'll drink iron and brew, we'll drink any sort of alcohol we can get our hands on, and we'll eat really fatty things like deep fried Mars bars.
Isn't it have to be fried to be from Scotland? Isn't that like a requirement?
Not always, but the vast majority of the time.
And
Awesome.
dinner's the best because if you are going to line up all of the dinner foods and then line them up next to the few good breakfast foods, like
Exactly.
What? Dinner.
Well, yeah, I might give you that.
pizza, tacos, Chinese food, Indian food, you're not eating that kind of stuff for breakfast. So dinner and lunch are interchangeable
Well-
to me. I don't eat anything.
What do Chinese people eat for breakfast?
Cereal, Frosted Flakes,
Hi.
Oh, is that right?
I must
Rice
admit, though,
Krispies.
The best meal of all time is when you'll have it in America, Domino's. When you order
Domino's
on
is
Tuesday.
garbage.
See, we don't in America we don't have we have Papa John's, but they're very limited throughout the. So what's a pizza place in America then? A big chain.
Yeah, no, those three chains are not very good, but I go with Papa John's out of the three of them, out of Pizza Hut, Domino's.
Well, that's the
and-
thing. If you wanted me to give you good pizza, it wouldn't be a place that you've heard of because
it's a
most
small
chain
restaurant.
Exactly.
pizza is not great.
So for the big chain, we have Pizza Hut, Papa John's, and Domino's.
Right.
Right.
Pizza Hut's the
So the-
worst.
So what Domino's do is they have a thing in the UK called 2 for Tuesday. So it's basically buy one get one free.
Love it.
Right. So the best thing that you can do is you buy 2 for Tuesday and you get your dinner for the Tuesday night, and then you wake up on the
lunch the next
Wednesday
day.
morning and you have a full pizza for breakfast.
I may have done that once or twice.
They got the $5 menu here, and you just have to order 2 items or more, and everything's $5. Medium
Well,
pizza,
yeah.
some sort of toasted sub, some pasta dish. I don't know. They got all sorts of crap.
Speaking of that, Risket, I need to chin you for good places to go for food in New York.
I'll get you a list.
Good man.
We'll get this
good man.
together. Speaking of pizza, this one comes in from Ladonian. You're getting your favorite pizza from your favorite pizza place. Where is it from, and what's on it?
Please, nobody say pineapple. Please, nobody say pineapple.
Oh man, I love a good Hawaiian pizza, but
I'll eat pineapple. I'll eat the crap out
Risky.
of some pineapple.
oh
on
yeah,
pizza.
Oh man, what is up with you two? Why
It's
would you
good.
put a fruit on a pizza?
Have you ever had like fire roasted pineapple?
I don't
Like
care
at a
what type
Brazilian
of
restaurant?
I
Oh,
don't care
dude.
what type of pineapple
It turns it into candy.
The only benefit. No, I better not say that on the podcast. We'll lose people. Pineapple on a pizza should not go. The
Yeah,
only
it's
thing
not,
that pineapple should go on is we have. I don't know if you have it in America. It's called a gammon steak, right? That's the only thing a pineapple should go on. Everything else a pineapple should be
Ham.
have as a dessert.
Yeah, basically a ham.
oh
Yeah,
okay.
basically like a slice of ham. That's the only thing a pineapple should go on. The rest of the time it should be a dessert.
But what if you have ham with your pineapple on the pizza?
It doesn't matter. That's what a Hawaiian is. We know this, but still, it's
Got 'em.
not. No.
I don't know. I'm gonna vote for yes.
All right, chaotic.
Moose
What?
Risky, I really liked you two up until
I'm gonna guide you to the best New York City Hawaiian pizza joints. You're gonna love it.
Oh.
Yes.
All right, chaotic. What are the toppings on your favorite pizza then?
I am very much a meaty type person, so I like chicken, pepperoni, chorizo.
Meat lovers. Is that a thing over there?
Yeah, like spicy sausage, anything that's like meaty based on
Whatever
top
you
of
got
a
in the
pizza
meat
with
bin.
some. Exactly, which in any type of sort of crust variation. So Pizza Hut do like their cheesy bites, Domino's do their hot dog and cheese
good.
type.
That's disgusting.
Anything that's got like some sort of variety of crust, and the base, or sorry, the sauce that goes on the base has to be barbecue, not tomato.
What? You're not even eating
you-
pizza.
Yeah, you're definitely. I mean, I've had a good barbecue chicken pizza, but
That's not pizza.
You don't just like swat. That's weird.
Yeah.
It's like I ate a
And also-
cheeseburger pizza once, and that didn't really remind me of pizza. It tasted like a cheeseburger.
Well, funnily enough, Ryan's actually just put up a mixer saying worst pizza crust ever is a hamburger
Because
crust.
it's not a real thing. I agree.
Yeah, I've never even heard of that before.
We have a supermarket. It's actually related to Walmart in America. It's called Asda. They've actually just started to introduce recently that the topping on the pizza for the cheese is halloumi.
What?
It's halloumi is a very salty type Greek or Cypriot cheese. It is amazing.
Huh.
All right.
Guess I don't really have a way to taste that, so I'm going to take your word for it.
Yeah.
Have you not got halloumi in America?
I don't know. I'll look for it at the
Holy- I
store
don't
next
think
time
so.
I go.
It
So
would be
you've got
pronounced something
all-
different.
Yeah, we call it cheese.
Yeah, you have got all this unhealthy stuff in America, but you don't have a salty cheese.
Oh, we got all sorts of salty stuff. And we put
Well,
salt
this
on
is
top of that.
All right, Chocolate, what's your favorite pizza type? Pizza toppings.
I'm boring. Pepperoni, and it's from Domino's. I'm sorry.
Man.
Oh, the worst.
Pepperoni, is that
The
it?
worst topping on a pizza.
You guys just don't like food.
Wait, Risky, why the hate on the pepperoni?
Give me the small spicy cupped pepperoni. I think is fine. Otherwise, normal pepperoni makes a pizza so greasy.
Oily. Yeah, I agree.
It just it ruins though. I don't want to feel like I have to squeeze out like wring out my pizza before I eat it. And pepperoni just very few times if I run into a pizza place that can put pepperoni on there and not make it a greasy mess.
Yeah, in fairness, chorizo does the same sort of idea. It makes it very golden oily. When like you pick the pizza up, there's actually oil running off the sides.
I'm not
It's
a fan
not the
of that.
nicest.
So good.
All right, Mr.
Chocolates.
New Yorker, how about you?
I mean, supreme pizzas are an easy go-to for me.
Mhm.
It's
Was
got a
that
little
the
bit of everything that's
Famous
good on
7
pizza.
toppings, basically. You got your
Yeah,
sausage,
but-
mushrooms.
For us uneducated peasants in the UK, what's a supreme pizza?
So you're gonna get like your pepperoni, your sausage, peppers, onions, olive,
That actually sounds amazing.
Sometimes ham.
sometimes ham. Yeah, it's
But no pineapple.
it's just no pineapple.
No.
It's just a little
I'm
bit
good
of
then.
a little bit of everything, and I think it all
Right.
goes real well. And then if I have
Yeah.
to do like a different type, like a chicken pizza. Chicken isn't something we normally get here on pizza unless you're doing like a buffalo chicken pizza, which is just like a hot variant, or the barbecue
barbecue.
chicken,
Yeah.
or chicken bacon ranch. Those are all good, but if I had to eat pizza every day, it would be a supreme pizza for sure.
From a local shop.
Yeah, we have a place called Twin Trees and then a place called Nick's around here that I like them both a whole bunch.
Okay.
Because in America, is your Papa John's not done by Peyton Manning?
No, it
yeah,
is.
he still owns a bunch.
Is he still doing that one?
Yeah.
Because what's the one that LeBron does?
Blaze, Flame.
Blaze,
oh,
yeah,
they
something
just
like
went
that.
out
Yeah.
of business near me. They're
Oh,
not
did
doing
they?
so hot.
Moose, that's funny because there's one that
Nice.
just got put up here. So-
Do you guys have mod?
Mod pizza? No, we don't.
Dude, mod's great. That's what I'm going with. I'm going with mod pizza. I'm gonna wait the extra 5 minutes for the deep dish. It's not even deep dish. It's just a thicker crust. And then I'm going with white sauce base. And then I'm going with mozzarella cheese, some sausage, some ham, mushrooms, red onion, maybe a little green pepper. And then after it comes out of the fire brick oven, I'm going to do dollops of red sauce on top of that. Oh, dude, it's so good.
That was a lot, but I'm sure that tastes delicious.
Yeah, so you mix the red sauce and the white sauce on a pizza. I don't know why they don't do that for all pizzas.
I'm also thin crust all the way, so you said thick crust kind of threw me off. But
Well, no, it's not like a... It's weird because it's still like a New York thin type in the pizza. It's just on the outside. It gets those big, giant bubbles for your crust.
okay, yeah,
Oh, it's so good.
sounds.
Ryan's just put a very good point up. I don't know if you get them in America. It's called calzone.
Yeah, we have calzones.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's basically a pizza folded over and baked
I
together.
love calzones because of ricotta cheese. I love ricotta cheese, and the off instance where I get pizza with ricotta cheese, I love it so much. I might be able to replace mozzarella with ricotta on a pizza most
Risky,
of
do
the
you
time.
guys have Old Chicago up there?
Nope.
Oh, man, they've got some awesome... I was going to say that either that place for pizza or mod, but Old Chicago's got great pizza and great calzones. So if you've got one near you, go check it out.
Deal. All right, hey, that was a long one. Good.
Yeah. Did we make it?
Good talk. Yeah, we do have to, out of our, man, half of these were food questions.
I'm so hungry right now. It's dinner time.
Yeah, I'm starving, and I have to do something else. So we have to pick a winner. Who gave us the best question, the best topic for conversation? What are you guys feeling?
Let's see. I'm looking through them real quick again.
Being the closet fatty that I
Oh,
am, I consider myself quite slim, but I eat wherever there's food available. I have to say it goes to the pizza one.
Yeah, pizza's good talk. I love pizza.
Yeah, I have to say that anything that involves pizza just is a hands down winner.
I'll go with the majority there. I can't fight pizza.
Chocolate, can you fight pizza?
I ordered
No one
pizza,
can
and I may have ate some pizza.
Oh, you had
while-
pizza before
he's
the
been
cast.
eating pizza
been
this
eating
whole
it during.
podcast.
When you keep seeing him go on mute, there's no children running around or anything.
No.
He's just shoving pizza into his mouth.
There's a whole slice in my mouth.
Oh,
Yeah, see, every time that he's went quiet, instead of it being baby monitor, it's just been pepperoni pizza.
Ladonian.
yeah.
Go you, Ladonian.
Tony, congrats. Well, actually, no. You reach out to me, and I will get you your month of Game Pass.
I must admit, I like this new wee feature of the countdown.
The Wii feature of the what?
Yeah, I don't
The
understand
wee
that.
feature of the Sorry, I managed to get 2 hours and 21 minutes.
Yeah, we just
without
lost you in the
being
last 30
overly
seconds.
God damn it, Mitchell. The whole fact of if you don't contact us before X amount of time, you lose out on your prize.
Yeah, it's good. It's saving us so much money. You have no
I know.
idea.
Exactly.
Have we
I
used
like
the
this
code
wee
yet?
feature. So,
I don't think we've given anyone in the community anything yet. It's great.
I think I chinned you the other month, Risky, when I won the question. It was like, whoa, don't take any money off me. I've messaged you saying give me my Game Pass.
And you got it. All
Damn
right.
I did.
So congrats, Ladonia, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. All right. We did it. We did everything. We can get out of here. Sorry about the long show, folks, so I'll make these plugs brief for you. You can just head on over to crossatlanticgaming.com. That is going to have links to literally everything. The most important link being to Discord. Become a part of the community. Come hang out with us. Chat with us every single day. And then I do have to shout out our top patrons, Chindocta, and the guest host that you've been hearing this whole podcast, Mr. Chaotic. Thanks a lot for your support. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
always.
Thanks, Chaotic.
Honestly, it's as much as I might sound like a brown nose just now, I can't think of a better way to support the community and all that it's done for bringing people together for things like Sea of Thieves, Division, X, Y, and Z. As much as it's a great time to be on as a guest host, the work that you do to set up community plays and games to get people involved in that might not have a group of people that they can jump in to experience the full benefit of games like this. It's more than happy to give you whatever I can to support you in the long term.
Making my heart melt.
Oh.
I got
I
warm
know.
fuzzies
And he's
inside.
like the ideal community member. So if you got friends like Chaotic, let them know that we
100%.
want them in our Discord.
And
Thank you.
if you want to be a top tier contributor like Chindocta and Chaotic, you can head on over to patreon.com/CAG podcast. Our next game drawing is a couple weeks away, so you have some time. Yeah, that's about it. If you want to get a hold of me, I'm at Risky the Kid everywhere. Chocolate
Chocolate bear everywhere.
Moose for the first time.
Yeah, I can
I'm so
say that
excited.
I am Moosenstein8314 on all platforms.
Yes.
You did it! And
I know.
very special guest host, Chaotic.
I am chaotic UI everywhere that matters.
All right, Chaotic. Again, thanks for being on the show and doing all you do for the community. We love having you on.
Absolute pleasure to be on, gents.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And thank you to everyone that tuned into this week's episode of Cross Atlantic Gaming, live and after the fact. We'll catch you guys next week for an all-new episode. Goodbye.
See ya.
Later, guys.
See you, folks.
I got a couple, 2 summer jokes for you guys.
Oh boy.
Oh, nice.
What did the pig say at the beach on a hot summer's day?
I don't know, Moose. What did the pig say at the summer's day?
He said, "I'm bacon."
Oh,
Oh, I thought mine were bad. Oh my god.
Here's another one. What do you call a French guy in sandals?
Oh, I know this one.
Philippe
I forgot.
Philip.
Oh yeah.
A little international
Oh, that's
humor
a good
for you.
one. I like that
Risky,
a lot.
appreciate that one.
That was great.
What do you get if you cross oh crap, I've got. What if you get if you cross a great white shark and a snowman?
I don't know.
oh God.
Frostbite.
Oh, man.
Oh, these are pretty good.
I have a 5-year-old. I'm allowed these things for a while.
Right.
Chocolate.
Go on then. I'll rock you with this one. What did the pirate say on his 80th birthday?
No idea.
Something about pieces of 80, mate.
Aye, matey.
I'm
Oh,
80.
God.
Oh,
God.
man. Oh, I don't even want to say mine because you guys are knocking it out of the park today. But
Come on, Risky.
what's the Nevada city where all the dentists visit?
No idea.
Go on.
Floss Vegas.
Oh, that's
Oh,
terrible.
God.
Put that back in your bad joke books.
Done.
Oh, that's so bad.
H T H 2 F 3 R 9 4 2 2 C V J X X G 3 3 X H Y K 7 Z. And I'm going to drop one more because I'm that kind of guy. And we are dropping this one, right? 9 Y W K 2 4 G F H 2 R F T G Q H J H D Q 2 3 M 4 Z. Those are your codes for the audio people only. Take care, bye.